Hello, good afternoon, good evening. What are we on about? I don't know. What time is it? 7 o'clock. Crikey, the day's gone already. How are we all doing? We're live tonight for another Premier League match, another night of football. Crystal Palace against Nottingham Forest. A huge game in the race for the Champions League places. Nottingham Forest somehow find themselves back in a fight that they never looked like being in. I've got to be honest, they never looked like being in for such a long time. It feels like they've allowed themselves to get dragged back in to that hole, embroiled back into that fight, when actually for most of the season they looked almost certain to make it. So yeah, let me know what you're thinking about Nottingham Forest tonight. They've not had a great couple of weeks. Obviously Brentford, beating them the other week, and they obviously got knocked out by City in the FA Cup semi-final. So I'm not going to say what I said earlier in the season. The wheels have fallen off. I'm not quite sure they've fallen off. But it's not looking so certain anymore for Forest with that Champions League place. And I still think it'd be a phenomenal season, wouldn't it? Of course it would be if Nuno Santo could secure any form of European football. But there'd be just a tinge of disappointment if they weren't able to make it there to those Champions League nights at the City Ground next season. It would be phenomenal. A proper achievement. And we're live for that tonight. Crystal Palace with an FA Cup final on the horizon to look forward to. Palace have been probably one of my favourite teams to watch this season under Oliver Glasner. They've been fantastic. Really free-flowing stuff. Mateta, Eze, Sarr, Wharton, the guys at the back, Gueye, Lacroix, Chalobah before he left. But even they've had lots of... Munoz at the back's been great as well. Tyreek Mitchell, they've had lots of good players this season, lots of stars. And it feels like they are on the cusp of something really good for next season as well. Hopefully there's an FA Cup trophy to deliver before then as well. But we'll get stuck into all that. We're only 2 minutes into the stream, and I want to remind you that our sponsors on Premier League Dad here for the remainder of the 24-25 season for all of our live streams is Match Bingo. Match Bingo is an absolutely genius new app that combines, if you like a bet on the footy, it combines all the excitement that you would associate with traditional football and sports betting with all the fun that you might associate with bingo. Basically how it works is you get a bingo card with 15 random events on that could take place during whatever match it is that you're betting on. For example, tonight, you can get a bingo card for tonight, and it might have on it Nottingham Forest corner, Crystal Palace free kick, and as the game is going on, you'll see it marked off on your bingo card automatically. And if you get a line, if you get a full house, there are prizes associated with that. Over £200,000 has been paid out already by Match Bingo to players. Over 10,000 players active across the UK as well. And it's really growing. And if you go with the link on the screen right now, there's a QR code on the screen right now, and it'll be live throughout the stream, to be honest. You can also click the link in my bio. You can download the Match Bingo app to your phone right now, and if you deposit £5, you get £10 free to try out some of these bingo cards on any of the upcoming games in the Premier League or the Champions League or whatever. Go and have a look, go and check it out. It's a fantastic app. I've got my bingo card. Let me know tonight as the game's going on if you're anywhere close to a line or a full house, whatever it might be. Let me know how you're getting on. But Match Bingo are our sponsors. They're absolutely brilliant. Great guys too as well. Go and check them out. Link in the description. But let's get back to focusing on this one. Crystal Palace against Nottingham Forest at Selhurst Park. James Tarkowski in the studio there on Sky Sports. I'm sure he's talking about. I don't know. I've not heard, but I'm sure he's talking about the end of the era at Goodison Park that is soon to come. They play Southampton there in the final game of the season. Well, the final home game of the season is at home to Southampton, and that's on the 19th? Is it the 19th? I think it is. Sunday, 19th at 12 o'clock. So, a couple of weeks away there or thereabouts. So, yeah. Let me know what you're thinking. Oh, God. They've got a show in, haven't it? James Tarkowski's a guest on the show, so of course they're showing the Merseyside derby and his last-minute volley, the equaliser, which transpired, would you believe, to be the last ever goal under the lights at Goodison Park. That's the last ever goal under the lights at Goodison Park. Unbelievable. Well, there you go. Right, so we are about to go live for Crystal Palace and Forest. It is just under an hour to kick off. Let's go through the lineups. Why we're live, why not? Let's go through the lineups. So, Crystal Palace. In goal, it's Henderson, and then it's Richards, Lacroix, and Gay at the back. Munoz at right wing back. Mitchell at left wing back. It's Wharton and Kamada in the centre. And then it's that same front three that we're used to that have been phenomenal all season. Sarr, Eze, Mateta, unbelievable for Crystal Palace. And then you've got on for Nottingham Forest tonight, Sells in goal, Matt Sells, Nico Williams at left back, Murillo, Milenkovic, and Ola Aina does come back in. That's a big, big plus for Forest. Dominguez and Sangare at holding, well, in the midfield with Gibbs White just in front. No, that's completely wrong. Flash scores, I've got that completely wrong. It's Dominguez, Sangare, and Elliot Anderson in the midfield. It will be Gibbs White left, Elanga right, and Chris Wood up front on his own. The formation, the team was right, the formation was wrong. But yeah, there you go. Let me know what you're thinking. On that lineup. I just want to make sure that everything is all set up right. Yeah, I think it is. That's about as good as we're going to get, to be honest. Okay. So, I've had lots of people message, obviously, about the whole Trent Alexander-Arnold news today. Honestly, I'm not surprised. I was never surprised by it. It was always likely to happen. We've been saying it throughout the season, haven't we? We've been saying it throughout the season that it's going to be Van Dijk and Salah stay. Trent Alexander-Arnold goes. So yeah, no surprise. Definite disappointment, I have to say. There's definite disappointment there. No Liverpool fan wanted him to go. He's a local lad. He's the best right back in the world, as far as I'm concerned, and he's going to a direct rival. I would consider Liverpool to be better than Real Madrid right now. I would consider Real Madrid to be a direct rival for the Champions League next season. They're in a state of transition. Carlo Ancelotti is about to leave the club. They're going to sell. Modric is going to be about to go. Tchouaméni, what happens there? They probably need one or two centre-backs. They're on about going getting a left-back as well, because Ferland Mendy's not quite cutting the mustard. The front three are brilliant individually. You've got Rodrigo, you've got Mbappe, and you've got Vinny. But as a trio, they just don't quite work. So, to me, it feels like Real Madrid are just a lot of stars shoved higgledy-piggledy into any sort of formation, and let's see what works. So, in my opinion, I think Trent's making a downward step, believe it or not, to go to Real Madrid. I don't think he's in any... He'll do all right. He'll go there. He'll win some trophies, I'm sure. Real Madrid very rarely go without trophies, so I'm sure he'll go there and win some trophies. And I'm sure he'll enjoy his time in the sun with his best mate. And, good luck to him. On a personal level, good luck to him. But as far as Liverpool are concerned and Liverpool fans, I am absolutely certain that he gets booed when Liverpool play Arsenal next week. Absolutely certain he gets booed. I don't think he'll particularly enjoy the parade. He'll be on the bus, I'm sure, because he's earned it. He's been part of the best team in the league this season. But, yeah, it's not particularly good. It's not particularly good. And, good luck, Trent. I hope it's everything that you hope it'll be. But something tells me it probably won't be. And you'll be passed off, same as most other Real Madrid players are. Eventually, you'll get sold off. The Madrid fans will chase you off when in the Clasico, when you forget to mark Vinny in the Clasico and he escapes you and gets a tap in at the back post in the last minute. They don't tend to forget that. Whereas Liverpool, Christ, earlier this season he did that for us against United. Jonathan Guzman, 3791, how you doing, mate? You think Nottingham Forest are winning today? No, I don't. I think it's nailed on draw. I've got both teams to score. I think Palace are still very much trying to compete in the Premier League to get, the form ready for that FA Cup final. They're taking almost the opposite approach of Manchester United, aren't they? And Arsenal to a degree of do you know what we're going to do? We're going to breeze into Europe on the back of loads of really poor performances in the league. I think Oliver Glasner's smarter than that. I think Oliver Glasner's looking at it and going, if we want to beat City, we need to be going into that game on the back of 2-3 wins maybe, or at least some big performances. They did really well at the Emirates. And I think they'll fancy the chances tonight. If Brentford can beat Forest at the City Ground, I'm sure Palace can beat them at Selhurst Park. And I think a defeat for Forest tonight is really damaging. A draw, maybe not so much. A draw probably keeps them in it, but a defeat really does just back-to-back defeats in games that you would expect them to. If you're a Champions League side, you would expect to get them wins there. Yeah, that's not good. So I don't think Forest do get a win, actually. I think it's a draw. My money's on a score draw. DJ, they have $1 billion to spend, though, of what I've seen. Well, they'll always do it. They'll always spend money, Real Madrid. Like I said, I'm sure they'll figure it out. I'm sure they'll get Alonso in. They'll spend loads of money trying to improve the team. But it doesn't seem to be... put it this way. I think Liverpool are closer to winning the Champions League right now than Real Madrid are. I don't think anyone would really dispute that. They've got some really, really talented players in there, but they've not got a manager, and they probably need 4 or 5 maybe to be back to the level that they were a couple of years ago. Modric is on his way out. Camavinga, Tchouameni's not quite working in that midfield. Obviously, Toni Kroos and Casemiro are long gone. The front three is just not working, and I think the full-backs and the centre-backs are also not bang on it. Obviously, Trent Alexander-Arnold will improve that, but I think Real Madrid are going to have to adapt to get the best out of him as well. They're not going to play like Liverpool do and just, give him all the time in the world and all the freedom, and maybe Andy Robertson having to play a bit deeper to try and cover for him, or put an extra body in midfield to cover for him so he can bomb forward and do his stuff. I just don't think it's going to happen for Trent like that. He's going to be expected to be really, really good in his 1v1s. And that's honestly an area where he needs a lot of improvement in. He's not terrible in his 1v1s, but he's not the best in the world defensively. We've all known that for some time. Ubaid 17386, that's with Ancelotti. With a proper manager, of course they'll have a proper structure and formation, mate. Hang on a minute. That's with Ancelotti, with a proper manager. Have you just called Carlo Ancelotti not a proper manager? Are you on glue? Carlo Ancelotti, probably one of the best, if not the best manager of modern era. How can you say that Carlo Ancelotti's not a proper manager? Absolutely blown him. Yav, who's winning Ballon d'Or? I think it's going to go to Yamal. I think Barca maybe win the Champions League. If they do, they've won the treble, and they'll give it him. It's a political thing. It's a marketing trophy now. It's not a who's the best actually in the world. It's actually... I don't think for 1 second they'll give it to Salah, even though I would argue he's the best player in the world right now. I don't think they'll give it to any PSG player, even if PSG do win it, because again, Dembele, Kvaratskhelia, marketing, it doesn't really suit them. They want a poster child or a poster boy, whatever way you want to call it. They want someone who they can go, he's the next guy who we can squeeze millions out of. The next Messi, the next Ronaldo, and Lamine Yamal's just got star quality all over him, hasn't he? So I'm absolutely certain they'll want to give it to him. And if Barca can find a way to win the Champions League, then yeah, it's almost certainly going to Lamine Yamal. Even at 17, he's fantastic, but I wouldn't say he's the best player in the world. Frenchie ZX, embarrassing if they boo him. Why is it embarrassing? It's not embarrassing. It's not even remotely embarrassing. You don't understand it clearly. If Trent Alexander-Arnold has left Liverpool at their absolute peak, put it this way, Michael Owen got booed, Steve McManaman got booed. Both of them left Liverpool for much, much better opportunities, to be honest. Liverpool were nowhere near where they are now. Right now, we're at the top of our game. We've just won the league. We only got knocked out the Champions League on penalties. We are, by definition, one of the best 3 to 5 teams in Europe, let's say top 5, certainly top 5, right? One of the top 5 teams in Europe, and I would argue we're in a much better place than Real Madrid to win stuff next year. So he's not leaving to win things. It's purely about maybe a lifestyle thing or whatever, and that's all fine. That's absolutely fine. And I'm not saying I would boo him if I was there. What I'm saying is I am absolutely certain that he will get booed. That's what I think. I don't think it's going to be a popular decision. Let's say that. Mark, evening mate, I can finally stop lying to my mates and say Trent can defend. Jonathan, no way mate, Nottingham Forest have to win in order to fight for the Champions League position. Yeah, no, you're dead right mate, I'm sure they have to win, of course they have to win, especially after losing against Brentford midweek, but I don't think they will win. No, I don't think they will win. I think Palace, particularly at home, Palace are exceptional. And yeah, Palace are in a really, really good run of form. So I don't think they will win, no. Romeo, do you think Forest get top 4 this season? No. No, I think Forest are almost certain to fall out of it. That performance against Brentford was poor. I thought they were poor against Spurs. I thought they've been poor against City in the FA Cup. I know they won at Spurs, but I thought the performance was pretty poor. I just feel like of all the teams there, Forest are kind of falling out of form at just the wrong time. Chelsea seem to be gaining traction. Newcastle, they've not been great, but they've got a bit more in the tank than Forest. City are gaining form. Even Villa, to be honest, Villa getting that win against Fulham the other day was good. So, of all the teams, it feels like Forest are just. If they win tonight, I will probably have to reassess things, but I don't think they're going to win tonight. No. Jonathan, they say we're going to spend big bucks this summer, but we shall see. When you say we're going to spend big bucks, you're on about Liverpool, Jonathan, sorry. I think we are going to spend big bucks, yeah, definitely. Sam Savini, how are we feeling about Trent? It's been coming. It's been coming, Sam. We've kind of just gone through it a little bit. I do think that Trent will go to Real Madrid as it's been as it's been suggested. He's not confirmed it anywhere. He'll go to Madrid and he'll end up winning things there and he'll do all right. So it's no surprise to any Liverpool fans at all, but I'm a little bit disappointed. Yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed. I don't think it's a smart move from him. I don't think it's a smart move. The only thing it can be is a lifestyle thing. He wants to go out in the sun with his mate Jude and, Madrid Fashion Week and all that sort of thing. I'm sure he'll love all that. He likes his fashion. So, fine, whatever. From a personal point of view, yes, I can absolutely understand it. If I was talking to Trent, mano-y-mano, yeah, of course, I would say to him, that makes sense, of course. You've won everything at Liverpool, that's fine, on your bike, no problem. Go and do your thing. But it's not going to be a popular decision. He will get booed. He's ruined his legacy at Liverpool. He's going to be in the same sort of conversation as Michael Owen now. That's exactly how Trent will be thought of. There's no... and you know what as well? If he goes and it doesn't work out at Real Madrid, which is infinitely possible, by the way, it happens all the time. We saw... Look how successful Gareth Bale was there. He still got booed to death by Real Madrid fans. And, Trent is going to go there. I think he's quite a fragile little soldier, Trent. I do. And I think when he gets those Madridistas on his case, something tells me he's not going to perform anywhere near as well as he may expect he will. He's still a very, very talented player, but he got so much leeway, so much passing, so much flexibility afforded to him by Klopp and Slot to make him the player that he's been over the years. I just don't think he's going to get that at Madrid. They're not going to build a system around him. At Liverpool, he's the local lad. He'll get that. He isn't going to get that there. Sam Savini, Ab, still 100% get Alonso. Yeah, absolutely. DJ, Madrid is the best place for him to develop, to be honest. No, he's already... He's basically a complete player at Madrid. What development is there still to do for a player who's 26 going on 27? There's not really an awful lot of developing for him to do, mate. That's the player he is. His one-on-one defending will need to get a lot better very, very quickly. The way Real Madrid played under Ancelotti, certainly that was the case. Ancelotti not being there, maybe does Xabi Alonso change things around to afford Trent more space down that right-hand side? Does he go and get a destroyer in the Madrid midfield to try and accommodate him? Because that's what it's going to take. That is what it's going to take. It's going to take a lot more legs in that Madrid midfield to cover for the gaps that Trent leaves. And ask any Liverpool fan. Any Liverpool fan will tell you, Trent has always left gaps, and it's never been a problem because we've played a system that covered for him. And he made up for it, more than made up for it, with his attacking play. So, yeah, I think there's still some adjustments and adapting to do there for Madrid and for Trent. I don't think it's necessarily the best place for him to go, though. Blur v Demon, how you doing, mate? Good to see you. Crystal Palace is playing a few. Who you guys got? He's playing a few. Who you guys got? I don't know what you mean, mate. Abs, if he rejected all the cash, you just got to say fair enough, he just wants something different. Yeah, exactly. And I don't think it is about cash, is it? And it's obviously, I don't think it's about trophies. It appears to be maybe a lifestyle thing. He wants to go in the sunshine and play with that white shirt on, that famous white shirt, and play with Jude Bellingham. And like I said, if I was talking to him, I would personally have no issue with it. No issue with it. I can understand it. I absolutely would love to go and move to Spain. There's no problem with that. I just think for Trent and the Liverpool fans, that's it done. Like he's absolutely. You'll see next week. The Arsenal game next week. I'm guaranteeing you he gets booed. He absolutely. We'll be live for it. We'll be live. We'll be doing the watch along. I'm telling you, when his name gets read out, when he touches the ball, everything, he'll get booed. Definitely. In fact, it wouldn't really surprise me if he gets a knock or a strain or something and he's out of that game, and we might not even see him again for Liverpool. I don't know. We'll see. DJ, Salah has dropped off and been missing in games. The best player in the world wouldn't do that. Okay. Hey, Messi did it plenty of times. Messi did it at Anfield not that long ago. Abs, Gerrard would have done unspeakable things to play for the Liverpool side as good as this. You're dead right. Yeah, you're dead right. Abs, he's had Liverpool on his back for the whole season. Give him a break. John Wilson, Roberto Carlos. What about Roberto Carlos? Was exceptional defensively as well. He wasn't a left-sided Trent. Trent is probably a realer and bigger fan than all the people that boo him. No, Trent Alexander-Arnold is, as confirmed in an interview that he did many years ago, he's a Barcelona fan. He's always said the team growing up, the team that he wanted to play for growing up other than Liverpool was Barcelona. So he's already not going to be immediately that popular with Madrid fans for saying that. Jonathan Guzman, Liverpool, yes sir, we need a left back, right back, centre back and a striker. I think we probably get all of them, maybe even a centre mid as well. That guy Miles, the league this season has been mid. Nope, league this season has been one of the best we have ever seen. One of the best we have ever seen this season. You can't say a season that has Palace in the cup final, Newcastle have won something for 50 years, for the first time in 50 years. Liverpool, someone other than City, have won the league title. That's automatically really good. You've got Man United and Spurs probably in a European Cup final and in the bottom half of the league. You've got Chelsea probably in a European Cup final. You might even have Arsenal still in a European Cup final. I have no idea how you can say that it's been a boring season or a not an entertaining season at all. It's been absolutely sensational. You've still got teams like Bournemouth, Fulham, Brighton, even Brentford, who could all get European football next season. Forest, I mean, Palace, if they win that, you never know. It could be like an astonishing year for English football. So I don't see how anyone can say it's been anything other than the best season we've seen for many, many years. Sam Savini, I think he's going to be exposed big time at Madrid. Yeah, I think so too, mate. DJ, if you were a player and had the opportunity to go to the biggest club in the world, you wouldn't. Not if I was at Liverpool, no. Not if I was at this Liverpool side right now, and I'm a Liverpool fan, no. No, I wouldn't. Same could be said if you were a Newcastle fan. DJ, you're a Newcastle fan, right? Is that right? If you're a Newcastle fan and Newcastle have just won the league title and Real Madrid come calling, you've won everything at Newcastle, are you staying at Newcastle or are you going? Again, you're a fan. If you're a fan of the club, you've grown up at the club, you're still in your peak. It's astonishing to me to think. It's like saying, would Xavi or Iniesta or any one of them who grew up around Barcelona, would you expect them to leave? Of course they wouldn't leave. The best club in their mind, the best club, the biggest club, their hometown club. Why would they leave? They would never have left. Never. Gerrard stayed, despite us being crap for most of his career. So, look, again, wouldn't have expected him to necessarily stay in that sense, but he's left maybe certainly the best side in England, but maybe one of the top 5 sides in Europe, one of the favourites for the Champions League next season, no doubt. We're in a really, really good moment. Just feels like a poor decision. I wouldn't have done it. But hey, to each their own. He wants to do something different. I personally haven't got anything against him. But as I keep saying, I think the Liverpool fan base and him are done. He'll get booed next week against Arsenal, and his legacy as a Liverpool player is tainted, and that's it. There's not really much he can do. And I think he's known that. He's known that. He's a Scouser. I'm sure he's known that's the risk he's running. He's not going to be able to be thought of in that way anymore. And he still wanted to go. So, look, he's weighed that up. He's gone. And on to his own. That's up to him. That guy, Miles, Liverpool fans are clueless. Well, hey, Miles, we can all throw attacks around, mate. Use your loaf. Tell me why. What's your problem? Why am I clueless? Jonathan Guzman, I'll be honest, mate. Michael Owen's betrayal is worse than Trent leaving. I can forgive Trent. Why is Owen's betrayal worse than Trent? I don't think it is. Owen left a team that hadn't won anything for years. New manager coming in. And yeah, we were barely qualifying for the Champions League. And Real Madrid at that point had Ronaldo, Zidane, Beckham, Roberto Carlos, Figo. That was the greatest side. And I know they never won the Champions League then, but one of the greatest sides on paper at that time, unbelievable. So I didn't really begrudge Michael Owen at the time. I was gutted, but I didn't really begrudge him. Also, Owen isn't a Scouser, so it's maybe not as strong of a thing. He wasn't considered a local lad. That guy, Miles, people talk like Gerrard wasn't going to move, like it was almost done. It wasn't almost done. It wasn't almost done. Flashy, hate watch pending. Who are you hoping for, Palace or Forest? I don't know who you're hoping for, Flashy. Jonathan Owen is a Judas. Again, I didn't really mind Owen going to United. I didn't really mind him going to United. I just think Owen just got it wrong. He made the wrong decision. Daniel, the comments on his leaving post are disgraceful. Mate, he must have known that. I'm not validating those comments, whatever they are. I've not seen them. For me personally, I haven't really got an issue with him going, but I do think he's cost himself that legacy. He's tainted it, hasn't he? Yusuf, Bilbao will never learn from their mistakes. They released 3 videos today on us as the last time. We shall see. Aaron McBrien, Trent will be a legend at Real Madrid. Listen, as I say, Gareth Bale went there, won everything there was to win, scored in Champions League, scored in multiple Champions League finals, and was an astonishing player in one of the best, if not the best, Real Madrid side we've seen for a very, very long time. And he's not thought of as a legend. If anything, he's booed to death at Madrid. So good luck, Trent. Try and beat that on the pitch, and I don't think you will. He's thinking he's going to get a Ballon d'Or as well. Again, we'll never see a right back win a Ballon d'Or in our lifetime. Not a chance. Archie T, long time no see, lad. Good to see you. TJ, Oldham v Halifax, playoff eliminator. Oof. Listen, I'm doing my schedule over the next 2 to 3 weeks on YouTube. I've just gone through pretty much all of the games that are on over the next 2 to 3 weeks. We're live every single day. Some days 2, 3, 4 games watch-alongs. But we're live and we're doing the League 1 playoffs, the League 2 playoffs, the Championship playoffs. We'll probably do a bit of the Classico, even though the Classico is on just before Liverpool-Arsenal kick-off next weekend. That's going to be a really big one. So, yeah, got some really good games coming up over the next couple of weeks. Not quite as low down the ladder as Oldham Halifax, but lots going on in the English Football League. Daniel, did you see Gary Neville's response to one gorilla versus 100 men? No, I haven't. To be honest, I haven't really followed that whole thing. One gorilla versus 100 men and all that. Again, doesn't mean out to me. That just feels like one of them. What was that? White dress or blue dress, gold dress? Do you remember that? What colour do you see? Is it a blue dress or a gold dress? One of them social media things that just goes off. Absolute nonsense. That guy Miles, people yeah, we've seen that one. Did you see Trent's announcement video? No. Oh yes, I did. Yeah, sorry, I did. Yeah, I did. Where he looked like he was trying to start crying. Yeah, again, I didn't think there was any genuine emotion there, to be honest. That guy Miles, Spurs, Man U, Arsenal, Chelsea, Man City, all dropped off. Right. So I don't know what you're trying to say. We're talking about entertainment. that would be categorised as entertainment, would it not? DJ, I think the decision was made last season, so he had no choice. The decision was made 2 years ago. 2 years ago, Trent didn't sign a 4-year contract or a 6-year contract, as a lot of the players did. And he only signed 4 years ago, wasn't it? 4 years ago, he only signed a 4-year contract, and at the same time, Alisson and a couple of others signed like 5 and 6 year contracts. So it was very, very tactically played so that his contract was up at the age of 26, and he can go to Madrid and demand whatever he wants. Come on, you Spurs. What team you support? Well, I support Liverpool, but as far as you're concerned, on a... What day are we on? Well, certainly when the Europa League comes around, I am a Spurs fan. In the Europa League, I am a Spurs fan. So, we are brothers for the Spurs games, mate. But certainly for Liverpool, I'm a Liverpool fan, yeah. Jake, think Trent's going to do really well at Madrid. He's exactly who they need, and he fits perfectly. Lee Oxley, should be a good game this evening. I would think so, yeah. I would think so. I think Palace have probably got the best of Forest tonight, I think. I think it's going to be... I've backed both teams to score, anyway. Both teams to score, and I think Palace might just nick it. Maybe 2-1. And it's going to be a damaging defeat, I think, for Forest in that race for Champions League football. Which, again, it would be really disappointed if they fell away now, wouldn't it? They've had a really, really good season, and Nuno Santo's done really well. Even if they only get Europa League, you'd still have him in there. Certainly in the contenders for Manager of the Year, even if he doesn't actually win it. He would certainly be in the contenders. FA Cup semi-final, European football at the City Ground. He's done a brilliant, brilliant job wherever they finish up now. But I do just think that... Yeah, it'd be gutting. From a Forest fan's point of view, I'm sure they've been in those Champions League places pretty much all season. So how gutting would it be now to fall away at the last hurdle? Yeah, sad. Sad, but hey, whatever, we'll see. Jonathan Guzman, Michael Owen went to Man United, my guy. Who in their right mind would do such a thing? He had 2 options at the time. His career was on a downward trajectory. He had no real options, and he had Manchester United, who were the league champions at the time, or were fighting for the title, and he could go there and maybe prove himself off the bench. Or he had Everton knocking on his door. I think they were the only 2 that he really had any sort of options to go to. And look, Liverpool, if you listen to any podcasts Michael Owen's done where he's talked about the club have said to him multiple times they weren't interested in taking him back, and he tried a lot of times to come back to Liverpool. It never quite worked out. He had Jamie Carragher speaking to Rafa Benitez and trying to negotiate a return for him to come back to the club. Benitez said he wasn't interested. He just signed David and Gog. So, yeah, I mean, I think Michael Owen tried to get back to Liverpool a number of times. It didn't quite work out, so he just thought, balls to it, I might as well do what's best for my career. And Manchester United probably was the biggest club interested in him at that time. So I don't begrudge him going to United. I think his move to Madrid fell apart. I think he could have stayed a bit sturdier when he went to Newcastle over Liverpool as well. So I wouldn't go as far as calling Owen a Judas. I think Owen left Liverpool when we were... Nobody could have predicted we'd have won in Istanbul. And I don't know. I guess... I would say Trent is certainly on a par anyway. He's in that conversation now with Owen and McManaman. I think it's the fact he left on a free as well. Leaving on a free when he could have got Liverpool a decent fee. It's not good. The optics on that aren't very good. That guy Miles, my point is Trent has been with you 20 years. He's won everything, seen his contract out, leaving abroad. Yeah, on a free, correct. Jonathan Guzman, remember he was the one that said if you can't beat him, join him. Scousal, hello mate, are you good? Yes, pal, doing really well, thank you. Yeah, really good. Hope you're doing alright as well. It's start of a new week, ready for Champions League football tomorrow and Wednesday. Thursday, I did just want to run this past everyone, by the way, because whoever's, we do these lives every single day, watch-alongs every single day. And I'm just thinking, on Thursday, I might not do the Manchester United game. I think United and Bilbao is pretty much done and dusted, and I want to watch the playoffs. I want to watch Bristol City against Sheffield United. That's live on Thursday, and then it's Coventry-Sunderland on Friday. I think they're the better two games. First legs of the playoffs. I think they'll be better than United and Bilbao. I'll leave it up to you guys. Let me know what you're thinking. But yeah, I saw the fixtures get laid out earlier today when I was planning what games I'm doing over the next week or two, and I think I might do the playoffs. I don't know. I mean, don't get me wrong. If Bilbao are 2-0 up, I'm switching it back. I'm switching it back for the hate watch. But I can't be arsed watching United. They'll be 3-0 up on aggregate, and it'll just be I can't be bothered. We'll just have loads of United fans in the chat, same as we always do, flying in. Yeah, we're winning it all. We're winning everything. Amarim's going to win the league next year. Drift. Can't be arsed with them. Palace, Lee Oxley, Palace for me. Hope so. Yeah, I think Palace will get the win tonight. Or certainly they'll make it hard for Forest. Can't see Forest getting it done. Addy, do you know any Romanian teams or players? Yeah, I'm following Steaua Bucharest right now. Steaua Bucharest, they're playing, is it Dynamo Bucharest right now? So, yeah, I do, yeah. I follow the Romanian league loosely. I couldn't tell you too many players for them, but I do, yeah. I do keep an eye on them. Cluj and Universitatea the other week was quite a good game. That guy Miles, like I'm an Arsenal fan, and when you sang You'll Never Walk Alone after winning the league, I was emotional, but Trent is donkey. Or Trent is goat. I don't know what you mean, mate. Scouse House, honestly, I don't care. He's going. I'm over him already. I thought bad about him after the Michael Dapper. Jaden Thompson, 14 days in a row. Good lad, Jaden. Jaden's absolutely the number one fan on this channel. He's been live with us pretty much every single day over the last week. Or last 2 weeks now. Scouse House interview, check it out, mate. Yeah, I was going to say, I've had a look at his interview. It didn't really seem all that sincere. I don't know, he seems like a player who's got a bit of an ego, and I imagine he'll go to Real Madrid and he'll win some things, but I do imagine he'll get knocked down a peg or two when he's got Lucas Vazquez playing over him and he's sat on the bench. That'll happen at some point next season, I'm sure. Keep an eye out for it. Abs, I think Trent has it in his mind that it'll be another Roberto Carlos or Marcelo. I just can't see it. No, it'll be far more likely to be another Alvaro Arbeloa or another Fabio Quintrao, someone like that. He's Arbeloa, I think, was a much better defender than Trent, to be honest. He's unbelievable. He's Kevin De Bruyne at right back. Going forward, he's sensational. I can't fault him. He's a game changer. And he'll go to Madrid and he will contribute and do some things which are wonderful with Mbappe and Jude and Vinny and whatever. He'll do well. He'll have moments. But he'll also have moments the other way. He will have moments the other way. You watch, it's an absolute certainty. He will have moments the other way. And they're not as forgiving. They're not as forgiving in Madrid. We've seen it many, many times before. Jonathan Guzman, it's always a pleasure to be on this chat. Need to prepare for this Forest v Crystal Palace game. I know, mate. Yeah, we are gonna eventually talk about Palace and Forest. I mean, we've done the lineups, but I'll go over them again shortly. We've got 22 minutes or so to kick off, so I don't mind rambling back and forth a little bit over the whole Trent thing and various other bits. Whatever people want to talk about tonight, let's have a natter. Scouse House, is there a cafe in the streets of Liverpool called Scouse House, or am I mistaken? I don't know. I don't think there is. CJ19, Trent won't perform at Madrid, especially in the Wanda Metropolitano. Be yourself drilling. Trent will help Real Madrid so much. Again, yeah, he's a good player. I'm sure he'll do well over there, but he'll have his moments. Corn924, I think win for PSG 2-1. I think it's going to be 1-1, that game, on Wednesday night. And I think it's probably going to be the same with Inter and Barca. I think both games will finish in a score draw. Barca and Inter will go the distance. It might go extra time and pens. And obviously PSG will go through on aggregate after it finishing 1-1. So I think PSG make the final. And I think Barca probably do just on penalties eventually. So we shall see. Abs, he'll be a cult hero for Madrid and Liverpool when he could have just been a legend for Liverpool. I don't think he'll be a cult hero for Madrid. He's already said in an interview that he his team was Barcelona growing up, and Barcelona was the team he wanted to play for. So He's not going to be immediately popular with the Madridistas. He's going to have to win them over. Cone, you think Nottingham win versus Crystal Palace? No. I think Palace get the win. I'm almost certain it's going to be Palace or draw. Maybe Palace. I'm not sure. I think both teams to score, almost certainly. And I would go for... I'm going to go 1-1. Yeah, 1-1, maybe 2-2. Or 2-1 Palace. But Forest, I can't see winning. Can't see Forest getting it. Caranto, how's Trent leaving doing it for you? It's a lot easier to accept when you're the league champions, mate. I'll tell you that. It's not going to sting anywhere near as much as it might do for Man United this summer when you can't sell any of your best players because nobody wants them. Jake, are you streaming the game in 20 minutes? You can't stream the game, mate. I'll be watching the game while I've got the game on right here now. So I'll be watching it. We'll be doing a watch along. That's what I do on this channel. If that's for you, stick around, give us a like, give us a follow. If it's not and you're looking for a live watch along of the game somewhere else, then, breeze on by, mate. That's I can't do that here. The channel will get banned as soon as I show the game. As much as I'd like to, it'd be lovely if I did. I'm sure my viewership and followers and everything would go through the roof, but something tells me Sky wouldn't quite like that. Mind your own. Palace 3-0. Mateta, Sarr and Eze. Let's see. Lee Oxley, no one bigger than the club. Yeah, totally agree, mate. Be yourself, Dylan. I think Arsenal, Barcelona final. Can't see Arsenal. Just can't see Arsenal at all. Abs 08, Barca, PSG will be one of the most technical Champions League finals. Well, both teams on for a treble. PSG still have to win the French Cup. They play Reims in the French Cup final. But PSG could be on for a treble. They've already secured the League One title. Barca, they're not a million miles away from the league, from La Liga. They're pretty clear at the top. As long as they don't get beat by Real Madrid in the Clásico this weekend, which I'm going to watch a bit of. I'm going to be able to watch maybe the first half before Liverpool and Arsenal kick off. So I will do a watch along of that one. But as long as Barca, I think, avoid defeat, they'll wrap up the La Liga title. And they've already won the Copa del Rey. So I assume Barca get to the final on a treble. PSG probably the same. I think they'll beat Reims in the French Cup final. And then, the same could be said. I don't think Arsenal are able to turn it round. I don't think they're good enough. Abs, Palace will do Forest at Selhurst Park. Yusuf, Salah to United, here we go. DJ, if you got Trent's market value, would this situation be the same? No, it wouldn't. Again, I think if Liverpool fans, if he came out maybe earlier in the season and said, I'd like to leave, and then Madrid, offered a decent amount of money for him, I don't think it would be even remotely the same. No, I actually think there'd be a number of Liverpool fans who'd be a lot more understanding because we'd have got something for him. We'd have got, even if it was only 50, 60 million, that's not the going rate for Trent Alexander-Arnold. Trent Alexander-Arnold is probably £100 million if he's got 2, 3, 4 years left on his contract. But if we got 40 or 50 for him, then at least there would be some acknowledgement, some understanding that, look, he got us a good fee. He won everything at the club, he got us a good fee. And it allows us to use that money to go out and replace him. Instead, when you leave a club on a free, it's always seen as a bit of a shitbag move, innit? It's a bit of a... and you've got players in the past. It's not even just Trent. You would imagine local lads don't do that. It's always seen as a bit snaky, isn't it? It's a bit snaky when a player leaves the club on a free. You don't like it. It's not right. It does let the club down a little bit. It's not seen as the right way to leave the club. Even though the player doesn't owe the club anything, the club doesn't owe the player anything, the contract is up, it does still feel a bit snaky. And lots of the players have left Liverpool in that way and kind of, maybe not burned bridges, but, Gini Wijnaldum, for example. I think Wijnaldum, he was offered a contract, decided he didn't want to sign one, he was going to leave, so he went to PSG, it didn't quite work out. Same could be said of, Emre Can, for example, was another one. And both of those, I think, probably tainted. Gini Wijnaldum in particular, given how big a part he played in Liverpool's sort of recent history, the big Barcelona goals. I think Gini Wijnaldum maybe didn't burn his bridges, but he's a little bit tainted. A little bit tainted for the way that he left. And Trent even more so because he's a local lad, he's a Scouser. So, Abs Barca have completely owned Madrid this season, haven't dropped a single point to them. Yeah. CJ 19, Palace 1, Forest 3. Abs, to be fair, Trent was willing to leave in Jan so he could get a fee, but he also wanted to see out the title. Well, you say willing to leave in Jan. I'm sure he was willing to leave in Jan, yeah. However, he did also say the club, that Real Madrid came in and put an offer in for Trent in January. The club said no, and the reason they said no was because there was still a chance. The club were led to believe that Trent hadn't made his mind up. That is what was being told to Arne Slot. It's come out today. Arne Slot was told in January that there was absolutely no decision made. He was still focused entirely on Liverpool's season, trying to win everything and trying to get the most out of the season. And he was making his mind up once the season was near the end. That's the party line from Trent and his brothers all the way through the season. And as soon as Liverpool rejected that offer from Real Madrid at the end of January, in March, I think it was the start of March, Trent had a meeting with Arne Slot, and that's when he informed him that he was planning to leave. So the club's known, officially at least. They've probably suspected for a good while, but they've officially known since the start of March. And in January, as far as the club were concerned, he was still open to considering an option to stay. Which I think, again, that just adds to the whole snakiness of it, doesn't it? Because if he was determined to leave in January, he was never ever going to leave, then he could have said to the club, look, I am absolutely going. There's no way back. I'm not going to accept any contract you put in front of me. I am going. And then the club might have had a decision to make at that point. They might have gone, well, okay, well, do we want to keep him or do we accept maybe 30 million quid for him? And he might have done if they'd have known there was absolutely no way back. But he actually only informed the club he wanted to leave at the start of March. DJ, you got him for free and he's going for free. That's true. Yeah. Jaden, I'm moving to YouTube. Cheers, mate. Yeah, I was going to say I am on YouTube. If you want the nicer setup, I've got a nicer camera here. I've got a nicer audio setup. It's a bit better than TikTok. And we've got a scoreboard and everything on YouTube. It's just a slightly different setup on YouTube as it is to TikTok. Abs, Trent didn't sign because Madrid wouldn't have gone near him if they had to pay. Well, that adds to the snakiness, doesn't it? That's adding to the snakiness from a Liverpool fan's perspective. If you think Real Madrid wouldn't pay a sausage for you, and they were prepared to pay 30 million for him in January or thereabouts, if he had 1 year left on his contract, that might have been 50. It might have been 60. So, yeah, it just seems to a lot of Liverpool fans, and myself included, that it's very much been orchestrated for a number of years so that he can leave the club for nothing. And look, here's the thing as well. If Liverpool hadn't won the league this year, he'd have also left us. And he'd have left us in a much worse state, especially if we hadn't had, the league money and all that sort of thing. We maybe wouldn't have been league champions if it hadn't have been such an easy transition from Klopp to Slot as it has been, which no one could have foreseen. He was planning to leave us at the end of this season anyway. So again, I think it is. It's a bit of a rat move. No skill, Aaron. Forest, please don't lose. Mate, Forest are definitely not winning, put it that way. I don't think Forest win this. They might draw, but I think Palace are certainly favourites. Arsenal forever. The Palace team is strong. Why are you called Arsenal forever, but you've got an Aston Villa logo as your profile picture? That's interesting. Forget my name. This is my brother's account. He's an Arsenal fan. I just changed the logo. All right, okay. It's my brother's account. All right, that makes sense. Sam, hey PLD, how are you feeling about the Trent situation? We've just gone through it all, mate, for the last 45 minutes. That's all we've talked about. Long story, but short. Long story short, I'm feeling okay about it. I'm feeling okay. I think he's a bit of a rat, but yeah, I'm okay. Scouse House, mate, watch the Michael Dapper interview with Trent. He says, I want to finish my career at Liverpool. Yeah, again, it is a bit rat. It's a bit of a rat move. It is a bit of a rat move, the way he's gone about it. I personally don't begrudge him going there, but I think he's burned bridges with Liverpool fans and he will get booed next week. Sam Holloway, evening fella, up you're well. Doing good, mate. Doing really good, yeah. Hope you're good as well. Ali Jones, 39, he's going. Let's not let it spoil our moment of winning the league. We will survive. Move on, please. Yeah, again, not asked, really. From a Liverpool fan's perspective, from the Liverpool club, the team that we have now, you'd look at it and say, well, that's fine, move on. Off you go. If you don't think you can do what you want to or achieve what you want to here, then on your bike, mate. We've got a fantastic team. And, yeah, we'll be better off without you. Adam, Trent leaving for bigger and better club. Not bad for a shit player. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I don't think many people would call him shit, but hey, to each their own. Abs makes me wonder why he did those gestures versus West Ham and Leicester. Ego. I think he's a lot better. Or I think he thinks he's a lot better than he actually is. Again, the whole chat of winning a Ballon d'Or tells you an awful lot about Trent's character, I think. He wants to win a Ballon d'Or. He's going to Real Madrid. He's going to Real Madrid, where one of them has already cried because he didn't win the Ballon d'Or last year and cried foul play and all sorts. There's another player at Real Madrid who wants to win a Ballon d'Or, who's just won a World Cup and all sorts. There's another player at Real Madrid, probably... I think Bellingham's probably got a better chance of winning a Ballon d'Or than Trent does. So, yeah, I mean, whatever. Good luck to him. Sam Holloway, who do you think replaces Trent? Well, it depends how you feel. If you're a Liverpool fan and you're asked that question, it depends how you feel about FSG. Because FSG have been renowned for almost taking the cheap option, taking the easy way out a little bit. And, yeah, I think there's a lot of Liverpool fans just a little worried that maybe they replace Trent with Conor Bradley and don't actually go and get anyone significant in to replace him. And I am slightly torn on that. I don't want us to go out and sign like a Frimpong, for example. I think if we went out and signed Frimpong, all it would do is just Conor. If you're Conor Bradley and the club signed Frimpong, you're looking at it and going, like, I've just moved Trent out the way. Trent's gone. That was hard enough to compete with him, and now you're bringing in someone else who's just about coming into their prime for big money. I know it's Liverpool and you've got to expect competition for places, but I would much rather us go out and get someone like someone who's reliable but maybe a touch more experienced so that Conor Bradley can kind of grow into the position. Do you know what I'll tell you I'd like? Olaine from Nottingham Forest. He'd be a fantastic one. He's 28? Is he 28? Had a great season for Forest. He's available on a free. He would be perfect because he wouldn't stunt Conor Bradley's growth. Conor Bradley could still be number one in maybe 12 to 18 months. And he's very experienced. He's been very reliable. He can play left back as well. That would be my call. I would go for Olaine for Liverpool. I quite like Daniel Munoz as well at Palace, but I think Daniel Munoz would cost the earth. LFC White, what a season for the Reds. Yeah, it's been brilliant, hasn't it? Mattis Blurry, Nottingham Forest, Palace, what do you think? I think Palace or draw, both teams to score. That's my shout. I can't see Forest winning. Yeah, they're having a difficult time of it at the minute. Adam, who wins this year? Who wins this year? What do you mean, who wins this year? LFC White, like Bradley, mate. Yeah, Bradley's brilliant. Scousel, reckon Williams and Anderson make a foul. Anderson, almost certainly. Anderson is like Ryan Yates. He loves a foul. No problem. Nico Williams, he's a little bit reckless. He's one that maybe we should have kept, to be honest. LFC White, do you think you will see England win a World Cup in your lifetime? Don't care. Honestly, don't care. I'm sure we probably will, yeah. England seem to be getting a bit more quality through, and we seem to be a bit closer to competing for... I don't know why I keep saying we. I don't follow international football at all. I don't consider myself an England fan. I'll watch the international football, but again, like, I'm a bit like... I don't know if you know the comedian, is it Adam Rowe, where he's talking about he would much rather see Liverpool win a League Cup than England win a World Cup. I genuinely believe that that's the same for me. I just don't really feel all that strongly about England. When the World Cup's on, I'm watching the footy. I don't care whether it's England or Senegal or Ghana or Tunisia or whoever. I'm just watching the footy. If England win and everyone else around me's made up, I'm like, oh yeah, cool, like it's great. But I don't feel like an Englishman. Put it that way. Scouse House, grow up, man. Adam, the best player in the world award. Oh right, the Ballon d'Or. Who do I think's going to win it? Lamine Yamal. Yeah, Lamine Yamal. I think he's going to win it this year. I don't think he is the best, but I think he will do. Premdad, I saw a video saying David Silva was overrated. Thoughts? No, he wasn't overrated. David Silva was very, very good. Not sure he was... Like, again, the City fans who'll tell you that David Silva's the best player they've ever had at the club, and he was tremendous. I really like David Silva. But I'm not sure I would rather have Coutinho than David Silva. Let me say that. I think David Silva was brilliant, but I think Coutinho was better. And I'm sure City fans would find that laughable, but yeah, I think Coutinho was better. JC22 Junior, I'm so upset that Trent is going. Mate, listen, they come and go. They come and go. We've seen better players leave over the years. We'll see more better players leave than him as well. It's part and parcel of following football, innit? It's sad that a local player felt the need to do that, but again, to each their own. He's gone on his bike and good luck to him. LFC White, rather see Liverpool win things over England. A lot of my pals are England fans. LFC White, we've moved on about Trent, lad. Yeah, absolutely. Adam, isn't Yamal about 20? Wonder who's the youngest player to win it. He's 17, Adam. Yeah, he's 17. And he would be the youngest player to win it. I just think that it's... The Ballon d'Or doesn't mean you're the best player in the world. It doesn't. It's bolted for mostly by journalists, and it's a marketing ploy to try and raise a player's profile and try and sell more shirts, sell more magazines, sell more TV. You know, it gets lots more interest and money. And when you've got this hot young 17-year-old superstar, you know, such global appeal. He's won the European Championships for Spain. He's about to win a treble for Barcelona, maybe, all at 17. I think, yeah, the Ballon d'Or beckons for him. And you'll have people falling over themselves to say that he's better than Messi and Ronaldo. Which... maybe in time he will be, but I think it's a little bit premature. The kid's 17 years old. I will say that his performance against Inter the other night was astonishing. So, yeah, he could well be. He could well kick on and be that level. But he's got a long way to go, and he's going to have to be very consistent over more than a decade to get anywhere close to those two. But as a 17-year-old starting out, yeah, absolutely brilliant. He's been phenomenal. AVFC, very strong Palace side today. Hope the Eagles do us a favour. I think Palace will. Yeah, I think Palace will get something tonight. CJ19, Alvarez and Nunes to cook Trent. Alvarez will be at Liverpool, I think, mate. Alvarez is coming to Liverpool. Reece Crownshaw, R9, is currently the youngest player to win it. He was 21, yeah. Scouse House cashed out on that bet for 140. I bottled it like Arsenal. CJ19, Cristiano Ronaldo overrated. You're joking me. You are joking. And that's as a Liverpool fan. You joking me. He was absolutely unbelievable, Cristiano Ronaldo. Right. Let's go through the teams very, very quickly. And speaking of overrated and underrated, Adam Wharton's playing for Palace. He's very underrated. Right, so we'll go through the teams. Crystal Palace, in goal, it's Henderson. At the back, they've got the usual three, Richards, Lacroix and Gueye. Then they've got Munoz at right wing-back, Mitchell at left wing-back, Adam Wharton and Daichi Kamada in that kind of double pivot sitting in front of them. And then that same front three that we've seen that's been tearing shreds off defences all season. Eze left, Sarr right, Ismaila Sarr right, and Jean-Philippe Mateta through the middle. For Forest, it is Matt Sells in goal, Nico Williams left back, Murillo, Milenkovic, and then Ola Aina at right back. We've just been speaking about him, of course. In the midfield, it's Elliot Anderson, Dominguez, and Sangare. And then a front three of Gibbs White, probably playing from the left, I would imagine. Ilanga from the right, where he normally is, and then Chris Wood, who again is having a brilliant season for Nottingham Forest. Surprisingly as well at his age. I think if Forest do get in the Champions League, they're still going to have to make significant investment to be able to compete next season, because Chris Wood isn't a Champions League player. I know he's played really well, but he's not a Champions League player. Nico Williams, he's not a Champions League defender. Sangare certainly isn't a Champions League player. They need a lot of investment, Forest. I know they've got Hudson-Odoi, and there's links with Hudson-Odoi moving as well, isn't there? Lots of rumours saying he's going to leave the club this summer. But they need to invest an awful lot. Jackie S. Trent is off to Arsenal. AVFC prediction -3-1 Palace. I think 2-1 Palace. I think it's going to be a little bit closer. But yeah, I'm going to go 2-1 Palace. CJ19, I'd take Gay at Atleti or at Liverpool. Yeah, really good player. Odegaard is getting his camera ready for the Guard of Honour. Martin Odegaard. Laughable. Right. I'm going to have to sort that thingy out. The old scoreboard, because that doesn't look right. It's definitely a lot paler than that, isn't it? Right, that looks a bit better. There you go. Palace against Forest. Reece Lacroix reminds me of a Wish Saliba. Right, here we go. We're off and underway. Edward Jorginho is set to leave Arsenal and join Flamengo in Brazil. Well, they'll certainly need some new signings this summer, won't they, Arsenal? Plenty of players leaving. Sterling going back to Chelsea. Jorginho leaving. Probably Partey leaving as well. Lots of rumours Saliba going to Real Madrid as well. Lots of rumours about Saliba to Madrid. Right, yep, just a reminder again, by the way, if you want to check it out on YouTube, we've got the scoreboard, we've got the proper setup with the proper camera and the nice mic and all that sort of thing, bit of a better audio-visual experience. If you're planning on sticking with us for the game, YouTube is maybe a slightly better place to watch it than TikTok, but to each their own. Tuaraya, how are you today, mate? The usual Diet Coke, is that? It's not, no, it's, my missus bought, she got gifted on, not gifted, whatever it's called, on TikTok shop, she bought, or got a free thing that she promotes or whatever, it was like a 12 pack, or, I think it was even more than that, it might have been 18 bottles or something of, Pepsi Max cream soda, so, for the last month or so, I've just been working my way through them. Really nice. I only really have them on a night when I'm watching the game, but they're nice. They're really nice. And I'm doing well, actually. Sorry, I forgot the first part of your question. Yeah, I'm doing well. Hope you're doing well as well, mate. Reece, rumour today that Arsenal are inquiring about Rodrigo. He'd be really good for a number of Premier League teams. Liverpool have been linked with him as well, but I'm not sure he would be a particularly good fit for us on that right-hand side. Maybe a good replacement for Salah, but we'd need to try and switch him over to the left. Reece, you're still going through that Pepsi? I am, mate, yes, yeah. Yeah, it's very nice, very refreshing. Again, trying to shift a bit of weight, so it's not always the easiest to avoid. Generally stick to water through the day, but yeah, Pepsi Max cream soda, especially when it's free, worth a go. It's nice. Rodrigo is a step up from Martinelli. Yeah, he is. He's a good player. Forest down the left-hand side here. Munoz defending unbelievably well, as you'd expect. And here's my mate, Adam Wharton. What a player he is. Into Eze. Give it off. He just keeps the ball so effortlessly. Effortlessly, I was going for there. He's so good to watch, Adam Wharton. He's one I'd love at Liverpool this summer. If we were in the market for a centre mid, which I suspect we might be. Munoz down the right wing here. Oh, that might be a foul. Nico Williams, someone was waiting for him to get a foul earlier, weren't they? He's on for a foul. Scouse House, I've done under 3.5 cards. Nico to be booked and Palace first goal. Okay. Toraya, I don't think it has many calories too. No, it is. I mean, look, it's still Pepsi Max, so it's full of sweeteners. Maybe not sugar, but it's still sweeteners. Shot here from Palace. Richards back in. Unlucky. Just wide from Mateta. Oh, no, it was Lacroix. Just wide. CJ19, I grew up near Wharton. Went to a college 10 miles from me. There you go. Very good player. Yeah, really, really good player. Would like to see him at Liverpool this summer. I'm really interested to see what this summer looks like. Again, I'm not just trying to hype it up ahead of... Because we'll be doing transfer shows over the summer, of course, every day. But I just can't believe how important this summer feels now for so many teams. Like, it feels like years we've been talking about Arsenal needing a centre-forward. Is this the summer they finally go and get one? City lost Rodri. But I think even before Rodri, they looked a shadow of the team that they have been for some years. And, there's a massive rebuild needed there. The likes of Grealish, Doku, Savinho, they've not quite been right. De Bruyne is leaving. Bernardo Silva's getting on a little bit. Stones, he's kind of broken now. Akanji's not quite been fit. And Ake's starting to look a little bit. Chance here, it's gone behind, it's a corner to Forest. So, yeah, and Ederson as well. So, City feels like a massive rebuild. Liverpool, we're in a really good position, but it feels like we need a pretty sizable rebuild as well. Probably more for the fact that Slot needs to stamp his own authority on the team and kind of make his own mark. United, that feels huge, again, depending on what happens with them in the Champions League. Do they qualify for it? Do they not? Spurs, same could be said with them. If they win the Europa League, do they keep Ange? Does Ange then get to spend lots of money to try and get them a proper Champions League side? Oh, Palace have got a big chance on the counter here. Here's Eze, here's Sarr. Drive, that's a foul and a yellow card. Must be. Who is it who's got him booked here? Foul and a yellow card for... Is it Milenkovic? Yeah. Yellow card there. Reece will also back in for Vlahovic, apparently. Vlahovic has had a terrible season at Juve. And he's on the bench a lot as well when he does, get fit. I think Randall Kolo Muane's been better than him since he's come in. Vlahovic is just... He's a good player, very, very good player, but he wouldn't be the signing Arsenal need. CJ19, I'm thin, ripped, I eat chocolate and energy drinks, but I'm still thin, all about exercise. Can't out-train a bad diet, mate. A lot of it is genetics, to be honest. And youth. If you're a young lad, you can kind of eat and drink what you want. As you get older, it becomes a lot harder. Unknown FRX, my God, we need about 4 to 5 players to carry on competing. Who are we on about here? Are we on about Liverpool? I don't think we need 4 or 5. Bevo, Weaver should have been sent off, I think. Absolutely not. Absolutely not, mate. Weaver made two fouls in that game. And they weren't even fouls, to be honest. The second one was never a yellow card. And I don't even think he should have been booked for the first. Newcastle have been unbelievably lucky with referees in the last couple of weeks. Really, really lucky. Brighton should have had a penalty. You should have lost that game. You were awful against Ipswich, and the referee helped you out there as well. Newcastle have had a rough couple of weeks. Scouse House, aren't we looking at Wharton from Palace? I hope so. Yeah, I hope so. Tuaraya, I'd love him at United too. Him, Menu, and a Fernandes midfield dominates. I think he probably needs a destroyer alongside him. He benefits from having like a Lerma or a Decore next to him. So I think he'd be really good if he... At Liverpool, he'd have McAllister and Gravenberch behind him. He'd probably be... I don't know. It'd probably be him or McAllister, actually. Yeah, he wouldn't get into our midfield three. But I love him. I'd like him to. At United, yeah, Mainu and Wharton, it's either or. You can't put them in the same midfield together. I think you'd get run through far too much. Unknown FRX, we need about 4, 5, maybe 6 players for Liverpool. I don't think we need that many. I just think that's what will happen. I think if you kept this Liverpool side, if this exact same Liverpool side started next season, we'd still be one of the favourites. We'd still be up there. But I just think Slot has decided he wants to change some things, and therefore he's kind of edging some players to the door a little bit. Your likes of maybe Elliott. He'd be happy for Elliott to stay, but I think he'll leave. Diaz, Nunes, Jota, probably all about the same. You could probably argue the same. I mean, Tsimikas will move on. Curtis Jones, again, I think he's just... I think he'll stay, but I'm sure he's certainly balancing a little bit. Reece, I think we need to sell. And Nketiah, Palace aren't going to buy him on a permanent basis. Is he not? I thought he was permanent. Bloody hell, I thought he'd already gone permanently. That's bad then. Yeah, I think Nketiah will end up going back to Arsenal. It's been a poor season from him. A for AJ, 1, 2, 3. What are the scores? It's 0-0. It's Palace 0, Forest 0. The scoreboard and the clock and everything is on YouTube. If you want to go to YouTube and check it out, you can go and search Premier League Dad. It's a slightly better setup. Again, we've got the nice mic, we've got the nice camera. You can watch me on there. You can comment on there as well, and it all comes into the same place. So you don't need to be on TikTok necessarily. CJ19, I think if we get Nunes or Sesko, Griezmann will be benched or off to Saudi. He's 35 nearly. Yeah, probably fair to say. Footy fan, Ethan, who's going to win, Barca or Inter? I think Barca, mate. We'll be live for that one tomorrow night, Barcelona at the San Siro. Yeah, Inter rested everyone against Hellas Verona the other night. So every single player, pretty much. Barella didn't play anything in that game. They dropped Marcus Thuram. They dropped Martinez, the keeper as well. They all got rested. So, and Barcelona couldn't do the same. Obviously, they played Valladolid and they went a goal down and had to bring all their stars off the bench to try and get them back into it. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a well-rested Inter against a Barca side that's still fighting for that league title. So it's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a really interesting one, but I think Barca just about make it through. Scouts House, please let me know if there's another 3 cards. Will do, yeah. I will do. Unknown FRX, 2 up front, 1 midfielder, a right back, a left back, and a left-footed defender. Am I wrong? Chance, must be. Could be 1-0 Palace. Oh, get it in. What are you doing? Oh, it was a proper scrap in the 6-yard box there. Very, very nearly 1-0 Palace. Scouse House or any will do, mate. CJ, where's Corin these days? I don't know, you know. There's a lot of people who used to be regulars who've just, we don't see him that much anymore. I'm sure Corin will pop in at some point. I don't know, maybe she's got things going on, but yeah, she used to be in pretty regularly and not seen her for a while. Touraya, was Dumfries rested too? Yes, Dumfries was rested. They had the goalie was out, so yeah, no Sommer, no Dumfries, no Bastoni, no Acerbi, no DeMarco, no Barella. Mkhitaryan started on the bench. He did come on halfway through the game with about half an hour left. Yeah, no Thuram, no Martinez. Taremi played. It was a very, very heavily rotated Inter side. So yeah, they'll be about as rested as they can possibly be. It's another Crystal Palace corner here. Wharton's going to whip it in. We just too crazy. It is Palace and Forest. Crystal Palace against Nottingham Forest. It's 13 minutes in and it's 0-0. Toraya will be an interesting game then. Yeah, it will. It'll be a really, really good watch. We Just Too Crazy sounds like a good game. Well, there's not really been an awful lot going on so far. Palace have had a couple of corners, couple of chances where it's kind of fallen in the 6-yard box and a bit of a scrap. But no, there's not really been any clear chances for either side just yet. But it's a very big game for Nottingham Forest, this. As it stands, obviously, we've got... I'll take a quick look at the table and remind myself where we are with it. But Forest are in 6th. They are 2 points behind Chelsea, 2 points behind Newcastle, and 3 points behind City. That's assuming they draw this, by the way. So, yeah, actually, they're 3 points behind Chelsea and Newcastle and 4 behind City. So they need a win. They need a win. As it stands, if it finishes 0-0 or even in a draw, yeah, they're going to be 2 points going into those last 3 games. And they've got to play Chelsea, of course. That's going to be a must-win, you would imagine. Last day of the season, Nottingham Forest against Chelsea. Chelsea have to play Newcastle as well, and they have to play Manchester United. We Just Too Crazy. What are your thoughts on Trent leaving? We've spent a good while on the stream talking about that. I know you weren't here for it, so I'm not saying that. I'm saying it feels like we've done it to death. But basically, long story short, I would say I'm pretty all right with it. I think he will get booed. He's burnt his bridges with Liverpool fans. Every Liverpool fan has expected him to go, so it's not a shock. It's not a surprise. It's disappointing, but yeah, he will get booed. He's tainted his legacy as a Liverpool legend, and from a personal point of view, I haven't got any issue with him going, but because he's leaving us in a very, very good way, or at least in a good position. We're one of the best sides in Europe. We're in a very, very strong position, and that makes it all the more inexplicable that he's decided to leave the club. So, yeah, for me, it's a bit silly, but there you go. To each their own. Andres09, Daniel Munoz, one of my favourite right-backs in the league, Daniel Munoz. Proper player, him, isn't he? Proper player. Oh, Palace give it away. Here's Chris Wood. Ilanga doing well. Ilanga's one of the most underrated players in the league. I'll say that. Very, very tidy player. Martin, say hello. How you doing? Saluda. We Just Too Crazy. I was very surprised. Yeah, I mean, well, we haven't been. As Liverpool fans, we haven't been surprised at all. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Very nearly an own goal there. Henderson rushing out. Gay, or no, it was Mitchell running back. And Mitchell tried to head it back to his keeper. Unbeknownst to him, Henderson's already rushing out. It was very nearly an own goal, that one. Proper calamity. Good save by Henderson in the end to try and keep hold of it. But yeah, that would have been an own goal. An absolute calamity for Palace there. Ball into the box here. Long throw. Cleared away by Palace. It's come out to the edge of the area. Shot. Good block. Very good block. Yeah, there you go. I was going to say, Jamie Carragher's sort of main statement on the whole Trent thing is something I think makes a lot of sense to Liverpool fans, that I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed. That feels about right. I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed. That's how I would say I feel as well. Mark Gay, what happens with him this summer? He seems like one that Palace wouldn't want to be losing, of course, but lots of clubs need a centre-back, and Mark Gay is one that I think could be swayed. Has he got 2 years left on his contract, or 1? I know he's not got long left. Feels like he might be one that could be tempted by a move away this summer, whether it be maybe to a Liverpool, maybe to a Newcastle. I don't know, someone like that. Good player, Mark Gay. Very good player. We just too crazy. Do you reckon Spurs or United will win Europa? Spurs. Yeah, Spurs. That's definitely who I think are going to win it. Reece Mitchell was lucky there. Yeah, no kidding. CJ, we're signing left-back Miguel Gutierrez as Madrid don't want a buyback clause. Come on, Atleti. Scouse House, I just can't believe it. It's like he wanted to leave out the back door. No backbone. I know, but we've thought for a while that his ego's kind of a bit out of control. Again, I find the whole mention of a Ballon d'Or from him a little bit deluded. Like, mate, you're a right-back. You're a right-back. Defenders don't win the Ballon d'Or. They've never won the Ballon d'Or. Christ, Cannavaro was the last defender to win the Ballon d'Or. What was it, 2006? So, 19 years ago, a defender last won the Ballon d'Or, and it was a World Cup winner. He had to win the World Cup to win it. And it wasn't a great year, to be honest, in general for football. Like, there was no standout. Ronaldinho probably should have won it, but Cannavaro won it after being one of the best players in Europe for a number of years and then being the captain that lifted the World Cup for Italy. So, yeah, there's not really an awful lot of chance for him to win a Ballon d'Or, especially not as a right-back. If you're a centre-back, maybe, if you're an elite centre-back, I think Van Dijk had a good chance of winning it, finished second. There's other centre-backs over the years that have been captains that have been very, very dominant. Full-backs aren't going to get anywhere close to winning a Ballon d'Or. If Roberto Carlos and Cafu and even Ashley Cole, lots of really, really good full-backs over the years didn't get anywhere close to it. You're certainly not. It's just not going to happen. Deluded. Alfie, what happened to the other angle and the scoreline? It's on YouTube, mate. If you want to go and watch it, you'll have to go to YouTube and watch that angle with the scoreboard and the camera and the nice audio visual setup. It's a bit better. I can't show that on TikTok. I have to have a different setup for TikTok because the channel is now sponsored. We're one of the fastest growing football channels on social media. Check us out. If you've not checked us out, you need to. This is the home of football. We watch live football on this channel every single day. At least one game every single day, actually. So if that's your thing, you need to be going subscribing, and YouTube is the place you can do it. And if you go to YouTube, you'll get a better view. You'll get a scoreboard and a clock and slightly better camera angle and a slightly better audio setup. So yeah, it's a lot of people prefer watching it over there. If you're going to stick with us, you can still comment on YouTube. Comments all still come into the same place, so I'll still read your comments out. I'll still interact with you and engage with you as we are watching the game together. But we've got a great little community of people, thousands of footy fans all over the world. Doesn't matter what team you support. Premier League Dad, you need to follow. Make sure you follow. Trent is dead water at Real Madrid. We just too crazy. Yeah, it is crazy. Scouse House, I know that is hilarious. No chance of him getting it. Neve Winters, hello from Ireland. Hello, Ireland. What part of Ireland? Love Ireland. Really, really nice place. Reese, if Trent wins the Ballon d'Or, it'll be like when Nedved won the Ballon d'Or over Henry. Trent isn't winning the Ballon d'Or, mate. He's getting nowhere near it. But again, just the mere fact that he talked about wanting to win it suggests he's a little bit detached from reality. He's a little bit devoid of common sense. I'm all for players having ambition. There's no reason he couldn't have ambition, but come on, mate. Like, I think he's a fashion icon. He's all over the Madrid fashion pages, same way Beckham was. But again, if Beckham's not winning it as an England captain who scored against Greece and did all that amazing stuff for England, and he was a good player for Real Madrid as well, Beckham isn't winning it. Trent isn't winning it. Dynamo Bucharest have been beat by Steaua Bucharest 3-1 for the Romanian fan in the chat earlier who was talking about Steaua. They've just won 3-1 against Dynamo. I was keeping an eye on that one for you. Sean Irving, I'm a Bolton fan. We had him on loan and Connor Bradley is better than Trent. Fact. Yes. Love the Wanderers. Love Bolton. I'd like Bolton back in the Prem, you know. The great side, Bolton. MR27, Forest will not finish top 5. Have to agree with you, mate. Yeah, have to agree with you. I think Palace almost certainly will get something tonight, and a point probably isn't good enough for Forest. I know they've still got 3 games after this, but they've got some tough games. Chelsea away, it's not away, is it? It's at the City Ground. Chelsea at the City Ground on the final day of the season is probably going to be a playoff for the Champions League places. Chelsea have got Newcastle at St James's Park, and they've got Man United at Stamford Bridge as well. So, Chelsea's fixture list isn't a cakewalk either, but I would fancy them to get something. The form that they're in, the performance they put in against us the other day, yeah, I think Chelsea will just nick it. And I think City have already got it. Newcastle, maybe a question mark over Newcastle, but we'll see. Forest getting down the left-hand side, crossed in. Good play there by Munoz, even better by Wharton. Those two are terrific. We're just too crazy. You're a great guy, mate. Thank you very much for that, man. Appreciate that. Jesper 2008, Bradley, OG, Frimpong to replace Trent. Or Bradley or Frimpong, did you mean there, Jesper? I think Bradley will get a lot more minutes next season. I don't want Frimpong to replace Trent. I would much rather us go out there and get a more senior, more experienced player, so that we don't stunt Conor Bradley's development, because I really do think Bradley, in time, could be a wonderful, wonderful right-back. You've got to remember, he's Northern Ireland captain. I know that's not a lot. I know people lose Northern Ireland, so what? He's like 21, and he's captain of his national team. You know, he's a proper leader. He's a professional. He's got bags of energy. He gets up and down that right flank. He's a really good defender. I mean, we saw him put Kylian Mbappe on his arse not long ago. Really solid defensively. I think better defensively than Trent. And, you know, maybe he's not the same attacking wise, but he can be. He can certainly cause problems. So, yeah, I think Conor Bradley long term, I'd love it if we had another academy product coming through. Scouse House, he said it's over a trophy. That's the crazy part. Half the Madrid fans don't want him because he's a right back who can't defend well. Yeah. Yeah, and again, depends on how the new setup, the new system is at Real Madrid. We've seen under Ancelotti, he needs his fullbacks to defend 1v1 very, very well because they get isolated an awful lot. So he's needed to rely on whether it be Valverde on the right or even Lucas Vazquez. Lucas Vazquez hasn't been dreadful in his 1v1s this season. He works very, very hard. Not saying he's better than Trent in any way, shape or form, but, you know, that's certainly something Trent is going to have to work on. Mind your own. Did you know Darwin Núñez is better at modelling than football? He's not. Darwin Núñez is still a very good player. He's a very good player. He's in a bad moment, Darwin Núñez. He's a very good striker who needs confidence and regular starts. And I think if he gets it, he will go on to be... honestly, there's a redemption arc with Darwin Núñez, just as there has been with Anthony, and just as there was, by the way, with another ex-Uruguayan striker who came to the Premier League and flopped, Diego Forlan. Diego Forlan came to the Premier League with Manchester United. He was shocking. Went to Villarreal, went to Atletico Madrid, and he was unbelievable. Fabulous striker. One of the best around. And didn't he win 2 Pichichi awards as well? For clubs not involving Barcelona and Real Madrid as well, so even better. Won a Europa League at Atletico Madrid. Very, very talented player. Diego Forlan and Darwin Núñez, there's shades there. There's a lot to like about what Forlan did when he was at United, but he was a bit of a donkey as well. And the same could be said of Núñez at Liverpool. Reece, if Trent's defending doesn't improve at Madrid, he will get ridiculed by the Madrid fans. Like what happened to Bale. Yeah, Gareth Bale. That's the one to watch. If Gareth Bale can score in multiple Champions League finals, can score winners against Barcelona. Remember that goal where he ran off the pitch and then ran back on that was in the Copa del Rey, that wasn't it? Just a wonderful player, Gareth Bale. Really, really good. And was part of a fantastic, all-conquering Real Madrid side. And he never won the fans over. He never won the fans over, and he had a lot fewer mistakes in him than Trent Alexander-Arnold. Put it that way, he was more of a match winner than Trent Alexander-Arnold is. And if you're a defender, which Trent is, then job number 1, 2, and 3 is to be a good defender. You've still got to get forward and do what he's good at, which is changing games and crosses and passing, and he's got an eye for a pass. That's not going to change. He's still going to be wonderful for Madrid, and I'm sure he will win trophies, but gonna have to sharpen up. Yeah, definitely. No skill, Aaron. Iron is having a game. Not gonna lie, Madrid should have got someone like Delo over Trent. To Araya, apparently United will get at least 70 million if we participate in next year's Champions League. You'll need a lot more than 70 million to fix that team, mate. You'll not, as Amorim himself said, you are not ready to compete in the Champions League. Nowhere near. And if you look at the 200 million that United spent last summer on Agate and Xerxes, Delict, Yoro, 200 million is nothing, and it hasn't improved United. If anything, it's taken United backwards with those signings. Before that, Mount, Hoyland, Anthony. The club's transfer policies, it's one of them where if you gave Bournemouth or you gave Brighton maybe 200 million or 300 million and said go and buy some. Well, even Wolves are fantastic in the transfer market. You give them sorts of clubs 200-300 million pound, you would absolutely back them, no problem at all. You would back them to go and get some real quality, wouldn't you? I think with United's setup, you could give United £1 billion. You could give United £1 billion and somehow they'd find a way to be worse next year. They just find crap. They find crap and throw it on him. Throw absolute cash after cash on crap. Agate is quality. People just hate because it's United. He's not quality, mate. Agate is not a top 6 player. Put it that way. He's just okay. I'm not saying he's crap. But he's not 50 million quid. He's just okay. If you look at like Bissouma and Sarr at Spurs, like Bentancur, he's another one of them. Like, he's just good, just okay. He's all right. Yeah, he's not terrible. He's not awful. He's not a game changer. He's not a Man United player. Put it that way. If your bar is that Agate is class, then Manchester United have fallen a lot further than I imagined them to. Mind your own. I would love it if Leeds finish higher than Man United. Could happen. They're on course for 17th this year, Man United. 17th? In what world? Are we talking about Man United maybe finishing 17th and still the fans looking at the manager and going, oh, I think he needs time. Yeah, I think he needs a little bit more time. Maybe a bit more money. Give him some more money. Madness. Toraya, all we need is Anthony back and we'll be fine. Have you seen him at Betis currently? Have I? Yeah, I've watched Betis quite a lot, funnily enough, in the second half of this season. I'm doing Betis against Osasuna next week. I've just finished my schedule basically over the next 2 weeks. If you want to go and see it, go and check YouTube out tomorrow. It'll be live on there over the next 2 weeks. All the games that we're watching on this channel. And Betis against Osasuna is a big one in the race for European places. Betis still in with a chance of Champions League football next season. They could win a European trophy and finish in the Champions League places in Spain. That'd be a great season from Manuel Pellegrini. He'll have done really well there if he managed to get that. Isco's had a great season for Betis. Johnny Cardoso's been exceptional as well. He's another one to watch. No skill, Aaron. Coping. A for AJ123 scores. Still 0-0, mate. 34 minutes in. Still 0-0. Josto Gravenberg is just good also. Okay. I think Liverpool fans would have quite happily up to January of this year. I mean, look, from January onwards, yeah, Gravenberg's been pretty poor, actually. I would say he's maybe only a 6 or maybe a 7 out of 10 from January onwards, maybe February onwards. But from August to January, August to February, even with Salah having a record-breaking year, I think pretty much every Liverpool fan would have been happy giving the Player of the Year award to Ryan Gravenberch. Chance here, Munoz, is it in? Oh, unlucky. Palace very nearly 1-0 up there. Daniel Munoz flying forward from right back. And that's the sort of problems he can create. Daichi Kamada just over the bar. No, Scalar, I'm not going to lie. I think Agate was part of the Euro deal or something like it was linked because of that agent. Always happens. No, Anthony, just keep performing so we can get 30, 40 million. Anthony and Rashford must be dreading returning to United. Rashford certainly will be. I mean, Rashford is definitely going back to United. He's not getting a move away and there's no team going to pay 350k a week. So he'll go to United. Of that, I'm certain. And, yeah, that'll be an interesting watch next season. Whether or not he works his way into that squad under Ruben Amorim, I don't think he will. Some United fans seem to think he's going to Saudi, which, yeah, we'll go and get loads of cash from Saudi for Rashford. No world where Marcus Rashford goes and plays in Saudi Arabia. Not a chance. He wants to get in that Thomas Tuchel England squad again, which he was named in, wasn't he, after starting playing well for Villa. So he'll back himself to go and play for a Newcastle, maybe. Or if Newcastle were to sell Anthony Gordon or whoever, you know, he could go and play for Newcastle. I think he could do well at maybe not Chelsea, but he could certainly go to a few top Premier League sides, or certainly those maybe just outside the top 6. I do wonder whether he'd go to maybe a Dortmund or a Juve. If Juve get Champions League football, they were very close last night. We did a watch along of Bologna against Juventus. Juventus are in for a fight for Champions League football next season. There's 4 teams in Serie A, 1 point separating them going into the last 3 games. Lazio, Roma, Juventus, all on 63 points, and then Bologna on 62. And there's only 1 Champions League place available for them. So that's going to be really interesting for the remainder of the season. I feel like there's so much still to call in Serie A, La Liga, Liga as well. You know, Strasbourg very close to getting Champions League football. Depends what happens with them as well. They play Angers this weekend. Liverpool won the title, lad. What are you talking about? Players, what level Manchester United seem to play better? Xavier, thoughts about Trent leaving? Long story we've been talking about it all night, Xavier, but long story short, not that surprised. Bit disappointed. I think he's going to regret it. Yeah, I think he's going to regret it, and I don't think it's a particularly smart move from him. Joe Stowe in December, he got bullied by Joe Linton and Bruno G. Right, well then that must mean he's had a bad season then. Mate, Joe Linton and Bruno G have got bullied off loads of players this season. Sandro Tonali's apparently your best player. Got bullied yesterday off Carlos Baleba. So, again, one swallow doesn't make a summer, as they say. No skill, Aaron. Not going to lie, Arsenal should be all over Rashi if they are serious. I think the problem with that is Martinelli, I think, is better than Rashford. And I think if Rashford did go to Arsenal, he'd just end up doing what Sterling's done this season. He would see Sterling, I think, as a cautionary tale. Chance for Palace. Knocked behind again. It's another corner. 38 minutes in here. Chris Wood knocks it behind. CJ Marcus Rashford to Dortmund. Yeah. He was linked to Dortmund. He was linked to Juve. He was linked to quite a few clubs, wasn't he, in the summer? But yeah, well, in January, wasn't it? It was before he went to Villa. But I can't see him going to another Premier League club. It doesn't feel like there's any good fit for him. And I don't think there's too many on the continent that would take the gamble with him. So he might end up staying. Alex Vucid Lamini, what's the iPhone you're using? Oh, this one's a dead old one, mate. This one's like an old one that I had for work. It's just for being on TikTok. My actual phone's here. Chance here. Oh, very nearly for Palace. Unlucky. Morgan Gibbs white fouled. Yeah, so this is like, I don't know what iPhone it is. It's an old one. It's maybe 4 or 5 years old. It might even be older than that. I think it probably is, actually. It's a good old one than this one. And that one's the newer version. But that's my actual phone that's recording this. Scouse House United are no longer the best team in the UK. Ask Roy Keane. He even said it's Liverpool. CJ19. I'd have Rashford at Atleti if he can fix up. Riot Squad stickers, you go to any games, mate? No, mate, not anymore. Not anymore. Been to games for 30 years. I've got a family now. Can't afford it. I don't know, again, you can't go to games home and away like I used to. Used to go all over Europe watching Liverpool. And all football, to be honest. Again, I've been to a lot of big stadiums around Europe. But yeah, sadly, no more. I've got a little girl, I've got a wife, I've got a family, and there is absolutely no way that I'm paying £400-500 to go and watch away games. It's a bit of a Tory sport now, to be honest. It's certainly not a working class sport anymore. You can't get tickets every single week unless you've got a season ticket or whatever. You've got access to a season ticket, then fair play to you. But I've not been to a game this season. Last game I went to was last season. Mind your own, Man United thinking they're still the best in the world. Some strong deluded pills. No Skilara, Martinelli is not better in any sense. Finn, haven't been in your streams, been on holiday in Turkey, but back now. Nice, good to see you, Finn. Hope you're doing well, mate. Riot Squad sticker, you go to any games? Yeah. I don't know if you've replied to that one or if you've seen that one. Mini Pasty, who do you think will win on Wednesday, PSG or Arsenal? I don't think either of them will win. I think PSG go through. Probably it's going to be a 0-0 or a 1-1 on the night. Briley Scorley, what score is it? It's still 0-0. Palace 0, Forest 0. There was a check for a penalty there briefly, but I don't think it was ever really given any serious consideration. Chris Wood went down. He was hoping for a push in the area, but referee says no. Mini Pasty, what do you think? Who do you think will win Wednesday? Yeah. No Skilar in Liverpool, tourist club anyway. It happens when you're successful. Yeah, every single club becomes a tourist club when it's successful. I've seen it many, many times over the years. City was the same. United was the same, believe me. Go to Old Trafford 10, 15 years ago when United were a good side. You would see a lot more day trippers than you would see local fans from Salford and Bury and Oldham and wherever else. Lots of day trippers, which again, nothing wrong with day trippers. Again, they get a bad name. The clubs need day trippers just as much as they need local fans, but unfortunately they've got the balance all wrong. Samey, what's the score? It's 0-0. 0-0. Nottingham Forest 0. Palace 0. Nottingham Forest 0. Again, if you want to go and check out the YouTube channel, you can get the scoreboard, you can get the scoreboard and the clock and all that sort of thing. It's a bit of a nicer view, nicer camera angle, better audio-visual setup, if that's your thing. We are live every single day. We're live tomorrow night for the Champions League, Inter against Barcelona. Then we're live on Wednesday for PSG against Arsenal. Live every single day on this channel. So we do live watch-alongs for clubs all across Europe, La Liga, Serie A, the Premier League, the Championship. We're doing the playoffs, including League 1 and League 2 as well. We'll be doing some of them playoffs as well. So, yeah, if you like watching football, if you're a football nerd like me and all the lads and lasses in the community that we've got here who just, doesn't matter what team you support, if you just love watching football, this is the channel for you. Get over to YouTube, get on TikTok, give us a follow, give us a like, all that good stuff. Turaya, unpopular opinion, Man United get top 3 in the Prem next season, quarters in the Champions League and win a Carabao Cup or FA Cup. I think that's an unpopular opinion for a good reason. I think there's a very good reason why that's an unpopular opinion. Manchester United are a long, long, long way from being able to compete in the top 6 in the league and even further away from being able to compete in the Champions League. And I think Ruben Amorim effectively said that, didn't he, the other day, after getting beat against Brentford. You know, beaten against Brentford, beaten by Wolves, should have been beaten by Bournemouth. It's not been a particularly good it's not been a good season for United, full stop. It doesn't matter what happens with the Europa League. Here's Forest. Chance here, must be 1-0, surely. What a save by Henderson. Wonderful save there. Very, very good. Palace maybe should have been 1-0 down. Ilanga with the shot. Really, really good play on the counter-attack there. Scousel looks a pen that. No way. King Sloth. Salty Liverpool fans crying about Trent showing ambition. Sad, really. I don't think it's about ambition. He said it's not really about ambition. So, yeah, I have no problem with him leaving to go to Real Madrid on a personal level. But, yeah, I think he's making a mistake. And we'll see that. That'll bear fruit, I'm sure, over the next 12 months. We'll see. No skill, Aaron Trent. Stanley, Man United closer to playing Stoke than Liverpool. Man United are a lot closer to those teams at the bottom. You know, your Leicesters, your Ipswiches, your Southamptons, than they are the top 6. They're nowhere near the teams at the top. They honestly, like... And United fans themselves are saying this. You know, there's a lot of United fans who are kidded on by that whole Europa League. Oh my God, you know, Maguire scoring in the last minute against Lyon and then getting a win off a fluky referee decision in Bilbao. You know, it feels like a lot of United fans are being kidded on that this is a wonderful team. And actually, that's a really good thing. If you're a rival fan, if you're a Liverpool fan, it's amazing. You want United to win this Europa League almost. Because I'm telling you, if they win that Europa League, the first thing the Glazers and Ineos are going to do is go, okay, we probably don't have to sell him, and him. We don't have to make massive losses on him. These are good players, aren't they, Ruben? You're getting a tune out of these lads now. So, you know, Rasmus Højlund, I know you said earlier in the season that we need a centre forward desperately. He's done all right, hasn't he, Rasmus Højlund? I think we keep him. Yeah, I think we keep him. Keep hold of him. Because if we sell him, it's 80 million quid basically down the drain. We're only going to maybe get 20 back for him now. So you might as well keep him. He's doing really well. Keep hold of him, yeah. Same with Xerxes as well. He was, whatever it was, 40 million quid. Keep hold of him. Mason Mount, 50 million quid. Yeah, probably keep hold of him as well. He scored against Brentford. He must be doing well. Onana, 50 million quid. Yeah. What's he in the modern market? 10? Maybe 10 million now if you put him on the market. Yeah, he's done all right. You know, Europa League winning goalkeeper. Keep hold of him. So a load of players will stay if they win that Europa League. The big overhaul that United fans are expecting ain't going to come if they win that Europa League, I'm telling you. Right, it's half-time here now. Henderson with a big save, keeping Palace in it. Forest very nearly going in front. Elanga just before half-time there. But yeah, we are on half-time. So, let's see. Tuaraya, that's why there's always next season. Absolutely, yeah. Man United closer to playing Blackburn away than getting Champions League quarters. Stanley, so are Tottenham, but they perform in Europe, not getting these scrappy 1-0 wins. Again, I think Tottenham, you can blame a lot of it on the injuries that they've had this season. They've been unbelievable at parts of the season, Tottenham. I think they've been all right, and then they've had a real drop off. Whereas Man United, I don't think at any point in the season they've looked very good. It's been a pretty steady level of mediocrity from Man United. With Spurs, there's kind of been peaks and troughs when they've had players out injured. At times they've been a lot worse than United. But at times they've been a lot better as well. So, Scouse House, I feel sorry for the United mindset. Ethan 22, good to see you, mate. How you doing? Reese, I think United's fans' default mindset is deluded. Bulldozer 7113, been calling him Rasmus Forlan at work. Rasmus Forlan. Jonathan Guzman, what we thinking, mate? You think any team scoring? I hope so. Yeah, I've got both teams to score. Stupidly, I put both teams to score on this one, and it's looking more and more like a 0-0 draw. Scouse House, exactly. They fell about 3 years ago, and they cling to hope. FM No Casuals, Henderson is a good keeper. Well, again, he's another ex-United player. I'm sure Manchester United would have been well advised keeping hold of Dean Henderson over Onana. If you're going to sell David De Gea, or at least let David De Gea go, and you're going to get Onana in for 50 million quid, Dean Henderson would have been a better option, surely. And he's English as well, so if you're going to try and get back in the Champions League, that whole homegrown quota would have been much better served by keeping hold of him. Tuaraya, I understand your point about us winning the Europa League, but Amrim's made clear he don't want players who will only play for Champions League football anyways. But that's the players United need, isn't it? That is the players United need. To move the team on, they're going to have to get players in who, can move the needle, can get them up another notch, can move them up to a higher level. And sadly, that doesn't seem to be the case with the players that they're targeting. It seems to be that they're... Again, we'll see. I guess we'll see this summer. This is why I was saying earlier in the live, we were talking about this summer being a massive, pivotal window for so many teams. Manchester United being one of them. Liverpool too, City, Arsenal, Chelsea. Chelsea probably need to get rid of more players, to be honest. Newcastle, are they going to keep hold of Isak? Are they going to be able to? Are they going to be able to reshape the team if they do indeed get Champions League football? The rebuild from Spurs, from Man United, do they win a European trophy? It feels like there's loads really hinging on this summer, more so than any other summer that I can remember. Feels like a decisive summer whereby if the teams get the decisions wrong in the transfer market, next season is affected greatly. It feels like there's a lot of mobility in where teams could finish this summer if they get it all wrong. If they get it all wrong, Man United could go down. If they get it right, then maybe they could be back in the top half again. But it's not. It's going to be a long burn. Again, there's a lot of United fans who seem to understand that fact that it's not going to be a quick thing. They're not going to be able to get back in the Champions League straight away. It's going to be a project. It's going to be a long burn. But the club can't really afford that. The club are dying for Champions League money. They need that money coming in. They've basically signed players over the years with Champions League revenue forecast built into those projections, those numbers. So if you take those financials away, they're crippled. They cannot get more into debt than they already are. They're going to have to write off a lot of signings, and that's not an Amorim decision. That's a Manchester United board decision. And I just wonder how much they're going to back him, because you're still talking about, however you dress it up, you're still talking about the man who is the worst performing Manchester United manager in history, certainly in modern history. He's got the lowest points per game of any Manchester United manager in the last 35, 40 years. Lower than Van Gaal, lower than Ten Hag, lower than Mourinho, far lower than Solskjaer, and obviously lower than Ferguson as well. So a long, long time, and he's by far the worst Manchester United manager we've seen. Stanley, it must be something in the background at United, because if they sell Højlund, he'll perform in Italy. Yeah, you could say that with a lot of Manchester United players, couldn't you? We've seen that over the years. We're seeing that with Anthony. We're seeing that with McTominay this season. There's a lot of players who leave United and just seem to kick on and do all right again. FM No Casuals, plenty of time, mate. There's goals in this. Yeah, I hope so. Ed Rosenthal, Crystal Palace win. Well, Forest have had probably the biggest chance of the game, but both teams have had chances. So it's not been a dull and dreary game. It is still 0-0, but both teams are getting the chances. AVFC, Palace against other teams, Prime Barnsley, Palace against us, Prime Madrid. Jonathan Guzman, Forest looking closer and closer. Elanga had the shot of the game so far. I would agree with that, yeah. Will United get relegated next year? No, I don't think so. No, I still think they'll be. I still think they'll be in the bottom half though, or maybe floating around mid-table. They'll do better. I'm sure they'll do better, but it still won't be enough of a progression that they need to. They're going to have to do something. Again, no other big club in the world. No, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, Barcelona, AC Milan, any other team, any other big top team that you consider Manchester United to be on a par with would never ever tolerate multiple seasons in the bottom half or out of Europe or whatever. Again, Manchester United only had European football this season because they somehow managed to win the FA Cup against City. So you've got to remember they were a little bit lucky last season. They finished 8th, didn't they? They wouldn't have had European football last season. So they win the FA Cup, that gets them in Europe. They now potentially could win the Europa League, and that'll keep them in Europe, despite them maybe finishing 17th in the league. So we're talking about a team being the papering over the cracks. Let's be straight. The papering over the cracks at Manchester United. And that's the thing that we've got to, be straight with each other about. Turaya, how long do you think until we win a Prem? United. Again, it could be, I think, a minimum, an absolute bare minimum, even if they got all of the transfer decisions right and they somehow threw lots and lots of money at the problems. And they had patience as well, because that's going to be the other thing. They're going to have to show patience with Ruben Amorim, because it's going to get worse before it gets better. And assuming he's the right man to do it as well. if all that does happen, you have to still think you're looking at 5-6 years before United are back up there. It's a long, long time. So yeah, it's a long journey back to the top. As I say, when Klopp came into Liverpool, sort of 2016, it was 3 or 4 years before I know we got to Champions League finals, sort of 2-3 years in, but I think Klopp is pretty special. And also, we invested very, very well when he came in. I don't think that's been the case for Manchester United for many, many years. We had a really, really solid and effective and very efficient back-of-house team behind Klopp. You know, really good structure for him to work within. And he came in and we just did everything right in the transfer market for 3, 4, 5 years. And for that reason, we just accelerated really quickly. But if you look at the team Liverpool had in 2016 when he took over, we were only about 8th or 9th. I think we were 9th in the table, weren't we, when he took over? It wasn't a particularly good Liverpool team either way. You look at that team, it was horrendous. Wasn't anywhere near as bad as Man United's is, though. Nowhere near as bad. So there's a lot more work to do with Man United. There's a lot more investment required. They're in a lot more debt than Liverpool are. And I don't think the manager's anywhere near as good. I don't think you could ever say Amarim's as good as Klopp. Or the structure behind him is anywhere near as good as what Liverpool had. So that took 4 or 5 years for Liverpool to get back to where they need to be. United, you might need to 2-3 times that. It could be 10, could be 15 years. It really could be. Stanley, West Ham have had a fall off and all reckon they could go down next year. No, I think West Ham are going to be fine. West Ham are going to be fine. Some things have gone wrong for West Ham this season. Lopetegui was a poor appointment. Since Graham Potter's come in, they've been a bit more solid defensively. Still think there's a few things they need to work on. Couple of players they'd like to... Again, it depends what happens with Kudus, but I think Bowen stays. I'd like to think they keep hold of Kudus. They might need a couple more signings to just get them back up towards the mid-table point. But I would argue West Ham are in a better position to get back up the league than Man United are. Bowen and Kudus are top quality players. I think Paqueta's a top quality player as well. Whereas United don't have too many of them. I think Bruno, once you look past Bruno and maybe Ahmad, and a push Ahmad, again, he's still only young. Once you look past Bruno, there's not really that much star quality at Man United. Bulldozer Leeds 2.0, 15 years, I think. United always bit for Sevilla. Jonathan Guzman, if Cunha goes to United, I need a moment of silence for his career. Yeah, I don't think Cunha will go. I'd be disappointed if he did. Good player, Cunha. But again, he's a bit of an head case, isn't he? He's a bit of an head the ball. Ray Gomez, we in Arsenal are pissed. Don't know what you mean, mate. Jonathan Guzman, speaking of West Ham, Bowen deserves better. Bowen's going nowhere. He's going to stay at West Ham for his career. Again, I think he could have had opportunities to move at different points in his career and just chose not to. But he'll retire. Probably, he might even be considered West Ham's greatest ever player. There's a real possibility, isn't there? If you consider Bobby Moore and Jeff Hirsch, the World Cup winners who played at West Ham, Martin Peters, etc. I think, Jared Bowen scoring that winning goal in the European final for them, that's like unbelievable. He probably will get a trophy, a statue built for him eventually, I'm sure he will. Or a stand named after him or something. He's going to be a legend at that club no matter what happens. Stanny, if a good offer comes in for Kudus from, say, Saudi, he's gone. I just don't think a lot of players are interested in Saudi. I think Mohamed Kudus isn't going to be ready for Saudi. Again, I'd be really disappointed. There's rumours linking Darwin Núñez to Saudi. And every time I see a player get linked with him, I think, no, you're too good for that. You're too good for that. You don't want to be going to Saudi. Does it not just make your heart sink a little bit when you see players getting linked with Saudi? They've got. Surely you want more for your career. Surely you want more. Surely there's more to life than money. Come on. There's got to be more to it. Do you not remember growing up as a young lad and trying to sort of, talked about winning winning FA Cups, winning Champions Leagues, winning Premier Leagues. That's what it's about. You don't want to just bloody go to Saudi and cash a cheque and get money and play in a Farmers League or whatever. You don't want that. It'll kill me if Darwin Núñez goes there. I think he's better than that. Jonathan Guzman, I forgot they won a trophy with Moyes. Yeah. Saudi's a retirement league. Argue with your mama. It is. Again, if you were 30, 31, and you were coming into your sort of end of your career, absolutely no problem. Go and get all you can from Saudi. Spend 1 or 2 years there, and just, put a few appearances in, whatever. Like, good luck to you. Go and get as much as you can. You'll get paid an absolute fortune, and you'll play 1 or 2 years. A lot of the players don't even live in Saudi. It's not a particularly nice, from what I'm led to believe anyway, not a particularly lifestyle that the players enjoy out there. A lot of them live in Bahrain, because there's a big bridge that connects Bahrain and Saudi, isn't there? So again, I'm led to believe that a lot of players live in Bahrain and drive across for training. A lot of people that seem to do that. So, I don't know. To each their own, whatever the case may be. I just always get a little bit disappointed when they try and move out there, because there's just not quite the player quality just yet. It's a league that isn't quite ready for such fast growth. It's the same with, the Chinese Super League was the same not that long ago, wasn't it? They all went out and they bought Tevez, they bought Oscar, and various other players went out there. I can't remember Liverpool were very close to signing Alex Teixeira from Shakhtar Donetsk. We were very close to signing him, and at the end, I think he was it 40 million quid? About 40 million quid we had agreed with Shakhtar to sign him, and then Saudi came in and blew us out. China came out and blew us out the water. It's like 50, 60 million quid, like an extra 20 million just to send him there. And he went there and he got an absolute fortune, and no one remembers him. His career's kind of done and dusted. And the same could be said with, like, Gabri Vega. Gabri Vega's, like, 21, was one of the best young players in La Liga. Celta Vigo, absolutely brilliant. And, he went to Saudi. Just baffles me. Absolutely baffles me. Colour Splash, I'd put Trent in the reserves and ban him from the parade. Thoughts? Well, I do think Trent will be left out. I don't know. I've just got a slight inkling that he doesn't actually get in the team against Arsenal next week. Because I think if he does, and he gets subbed on or subbed off, the boos will be unbelievable. I think he'll get booed every time he touches the ball, to be honest. I think he'll get booed by his own fans next week if he's in that team. And I suspect there's a part of Liverpool that just want to protect him from that. And they might just say, do you know what? Let's take you out the firing line now. The last 3 games of the season, we're going to put Conor Bradley in. So I think Conor Bradley probably goes in. Right. So, 10 seconds in. We're off and underway. Stanley, it's like that Gabri Vega. He was 21 when he moved. Barca, Madrid wanted him, chose Saudi. Yeah, mad that we both said him as well at the same time. Yeah, Gabri Vega's the one that always rings true. He was such a talented young player. He's too good for that league, Darwin Núñez. I would love to see him in Italy with Juventus or AS Roma. Roma would be a good shout for Darwin, yeah. Roma could yet make the Champions League as well. Roma, Lazio, any of them really. Chante, great block, great defending. Maxence Lacroix, he's a very talented young centre-back as well. I say young, I don't think he's that young anymore. Colour Splash, remember Anzi Makachkala, not even a team no more. Yeah, Anzi Makachkala, they were a proper FIFA. Everyone played them on FIFA Online, didn't they? Because they had Carlos, Sami Eto'o, Mehdi Carcea Gonzalez, and Bark Boussoufa, Jusile, Christopher Samba as well, if you remember Samba. There was a lot of good players. I think, did Akinfeev go there? Who was the goalie? They had a decent goalie, didn't they, as well? I don't think it was Akinfeev. Akinfeev stayed at CSKA Moscow, didn't he? But yeah, Anzi Makachkala. Send him Dagestan. 2-3 years, forget. Stanny thought Diaby did all right for Villa. He went to Saudi. Again, I can understand it with some players where they look at it and think, do you know what? I just want the cash. I just want the cash. You're a long time retired. You can go to Saudi and make more in 1 year than you can make in 4 years at a Premier League club. And if you're not that motivated by trophies and honours, and maybe you're just a bang average player, and you might just look at it and think, do you know what? I can retire if I stay at Crystal Palace. Like, let's say you're Daniel Munoz, right? Daniel Munoz is 28 years old. If he stays at Crystal Palace, he probably, let's say they don't win the FA Cup this year. I hope they do, but let's say they don't, right? He could stay at Crystal Palace another 2 years, 3 years, until he's like 31, and, you know, he'd probably make, I don't know what he's on there, maybe 45, 50 grand a week. So decent money, right? Decent money, and when he retires in 4 or 5 years, he'll still have made decent money. But if he was to get an offer from Saudi this summer, he'd go to Saudi, he'd probably be earning 200,000, maybe £200,000 a week, £250,000 a week after tax. So, you know, you're 5-6 times your salary in a lot of cases. So you go from retiring with you know, a nice house, I'm sure, or a couple of nice houses, and, you know, you're in a good position, to you can retire with a private jet and a boat, and, you know, a really, really nice life if you go to Saudi for 3-4 years. So I can understand why some players do it if they're not particularly driven or ambitious. Javier Alzio Raid. Alzio Raid? I don't know what Alzio Raid means, mate. I don't know what that means. Javier 13. Right. So we're off. Gay with the header from the free kick just wide there. Sub, how you doing? Are you doing the Coventry Sunderland game Friday? Yes, mate, I am. Yeah, I'm doing the Coventry Sunderland game Friday, and I'm debating. I am really debating whether or not to do the Bristol City Sheffield United game on Thursday. Mateta, chance must be. Oh, has he missed it again? Palace miss an absolute sitter. Oh, that was really poor there. He should score. And Olaine is driving forward here. This is why I want him for Liverpool. What a ball in as well. Chance for Aina. Chance for West Ham. Chance for Wood I was going for. Chance for Wood. And he puts it wide. Unbelievable. West Ham. Where did that come from? What an unbelievable drive forward that was from Olaina to corner. It's actually a good block from Maxence Lacroix. Again, that guy at the back, saving Crystal Palace. Couple of really big blocks. The second half has started really well. 5 minutes in, you'd have to say Wood should have scored, and at the other end, I think Sarr should have scored for Palace. So, really good start here. Colour Splash can see Ben White going Saudi for the bag. He hates football. Yeah, that's probably fair to say. Ball in here. Comes out to Adam Wharton. Cleared away by Palace. And they're away on the counter-attack here if they get this right. Unlucky. Yeah, so this Thursday, I am thinking of doing Sheffield United away at Bristol City at Ashton Gate, which is the first leg of the Championship playoff semi-final. So I think there's a lot more riding on that than United and Bilbao. I know I'm sure I'll get plenty of United fans calling me bitter and whatever for missing the game, but it's going to be a total non-event, that one. We'll keep updated on it as we go along, of course we will, but I'm not sitting there watching Manchester United fans crowing about beating Bilbao at home. It's an absolute nonsense. So yeah, I think we're gonna switch that one out. We're not gonna do Bilbao on Thursday. Seems a ridiculous decision to watch him. Be yourself, Dylan. Milan are losing 1-0. Oh no, don't say that. Don't say that. Colour Splash, you ever planning on having guests on your watch along when the channel grows? Yeah, I'd like to. To be honest, I don't mind having guests on now. I just, like I say, it feels like if we did have guests on during lives, it'd be a bit disjointed. I'd rather stay focused on the game. But, certainly over the summer we can do maybe guests and joint lives or whatever, collaborations, whatever. If people want to get involved, we can do transfer rumour stuff. Be good to get other people involved. Fires, Man United is always on your head. Yeah, no, really not. That was a lovely piece of play there by Mateta. Saz just putting it wide of the keeper. It's a good save, actually, from Sells. Tuaraya, how bitter and petty you are sounding right now is ridiculous. Why is that bitter? Why is it bitter? To say I'm not watching United? That's not bitter. I've done loads of United games. We've watched United loads. It just seems pointless to watch Bilbao when the game's already dusted. You're 3-0 up. If it's 2-0, we'll turn it back over, but it's 3-0. You're gonna win. You're gonna go through. Colour Splash, you been doing any content on the Club World Cup, or are you taking a break? No such thing as a break on this channel, mate. We'll be live every single day for the summer as well. The Club World Cup, we'll be doing those games, and we'll be doing the transfer shows and stuff over the summer. Got loads of videos planned over the summer as well. But there's lots of football still to go through June and July. I think it might be a bit quieter in July, of course, because there's not really much going on then. I could maybe watch the Norwegian League. That's still going on then, but I'm not going to watch much. There's not going to be many lives. We'll do some pre-season games maybe as well. A few people have asked if we can do them. So, yeah, we might do some pre-season games, maybe some transfer shows. Definitely the Club World Cup. Enough to keep us busy. Anyway. Tuaraya, to say you're not doing a watch-along in Bilbao's biggest game of the season just because we look like going through doesn't sound fair, does it? Why would it be? So you're saying it's unfair on Bilbao? I'll level with you, mate. We haven't got a huge fan base on this channel, full stop, but we haven't got a huge fan base of Bilbao fans. We have had one or two, funnily enough, come on. But I don't think they'd be that bothered. We've done some Bilbao games in La Liga. But I don't think they'd be that bothered by us missing United and Bilbao. The game is done. It's a non-event. Manchester United will go through. Even if Bilbao manage to get a win, I think United still go through. They're not going to score 4. They're not going to score 3. So it's going to be very unlikely that they cause United serious problems, or at least enough that the game becomes interesting to watch. So That's my opinion. As I said, I threw it out to you guys. I've not said this is definitely what's happening. I have asked the audience. I've certainly asked you guys and said, what do you think? Let me know if you feel strongly one way or another. If enough people tell me, look, no, we want to watch United and Bilbao, I'll stick with United and Bilbao. That's fine by me. I'm just saying I think that there'll be more people interested in watching or doing a watch along of Bristol City and Sheffield United. That's the bigger game. That's the game with most riding on it. And I think that might be a better watch. Colour Splash, do you play fantasy football? You could create a league. I don't play fantasy football. Usually what happens with me and fantasy football, mate, is that I start in, I get on, like my mates will invite me to a league at the start of the season. And I'm one of them who, I do it, I pick a really good team that I'm dead happy with, and I'll change it around and stuff for maybe the first 3 or 4 weeks, and then don't look at it again. And usually I'll look at the table towards the end of the season and go, oh, I did all right, actually. If I'd maybe changed a few things, I might have done a lot better. But the team tends to stay the same all the way through the season. So yeah, I'm planning on doing one for next season. There's a lot of people who've messaged me and said, can we set up a Premier League Dad fantasy league for next season? That's certainly one I'd like to do. We're going to have a forum as well soon as well. I've already got a Discord, by the way, so if people want to chat away from the lives, we can do so. Chance! Oh, that's a penalty, ref. That must be a pen. How's he not give that? How's he not give that? That has to be a pen. What are you doing, ref? There must be a VAR check on that. There must be a VAR check. Surely there's a VAR check on that. It has to be a penalty. He knocks it past the keeper. Let's see. Here we go. Oh, that's a pen. That's a pen. He gets fouled twice. He gets fouled twice. It's Milenkovic first, and then it's Matt Sells. Both of them take him out. Guy gets fouled twice and doesn't get a penalty. It's a penalty, though. It's going to be a penalty to Palace. There you go. VAR, check. Penalty. Easy done. He's going to go and have a look at it. So, yeah, I'm sure we'll do a fantasy league. Absolutely no problem. Toraya, do you think that it's because it's at Old Trafford? Maybe, yeah. Maybe if the second leg was at the San Mamés, I would look at it and go, all right, maybe they can do something there. But I just think it's the game's done and dusted. And again, I've got a lot of people, not just on TikTok now. I'm on YouTube Live. I'm on X Live. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitch. I've got people in other chats right now telling me you need to stick with the Championship game. Stay and do the Championship game. So that seems to be the overwhelming feeling from the audience. So I'm going to stick with that, mate. Scouse House, who likes United? Who doesn't support them? Absolutely no one. Yeah. Colour Splash, hearing Liverpool have a buyback clause on Nico Williams doing the rounds now Trent is leaving. I don't think Nico Williams is coming back. Again, he's getting a lot of minutes at Forest. He isn't going to come back to Liverpool and be back up. Penn Palace. Barnacle Sports, show it. I can't show it, mate. If I show it, the channel gets banned. So I apologise. I would love to show it. I'm not just being unreasonable, but if I did show it, I'm sure my viewing figures would go up. I'd love that. But I'm sure Sky Sports wouldn't like it and the channel would get banned very, very quickly. Reece Crownshaw, is that a pen? Oh, it's definitely a pen, alright. Toraya, tell them to get a grip. Barnacle Sports, Leeds. Dirty Leeds. I think Leeds will stay up next season. I do think Leeds stay up. Right, so we're going to get a penalty here. Ebre Eze is about to step up and take it. Come on, Eze. Stick this away. It was definitely a penalty. Eze against Matt Sells. Which side is he going? I would imagine low and to the right. To the keeper's right. He's a right-footed penalty taker. So I imagine he's going to go across. He's going to cut across. So he's going to go keeper's right. Low to the keeper's right. That's my guess. Put in the comments quick where you think. Which direction are you going? Is he going top? Is he going low? Is he going central? Is he going to Panenka it? What's he doing? Quick. Put it in the chat. Let me see. Eze steps up. Oh, get in. He went sort of mid-right, but it's a good finish. And there you go. I can get the old graphic on the screen on YouTube. It's 1-0 to Palace. Ebre Eze, as we all suspected, Forest have got work to do. 30 minutes to go here. And it's looking like Forest might be in banging trouble. They're not going to be getting Champions League football next season playing like that. Coleman Hodgkinson, top left. Dylan, did you see Al Hilal have bid for Bruno Fernandes? I didn't see that, no. I can't see Bruno Fernandes leaving United. Again, they'd want too much money for him. Money that he's not worth. And, yeah, the clubs that would be interested in him, it would only be Saudi clubs interested. There's not going to be any top teams around Europe particularly interested in Bruno Fernandes. He's at that age of his career. He's a bit of a liability as well, and I'm not sure people would love him in the dressing room. So I'm sure he will go to Saudi at some point. Maybe when his career's kind of just finishing off, maybe 1 or 2 more years at United, he'll probably go. Rosie Lee Laws, they need to scrap the 3 PM blackout. Yeah, no kidding. Substub, showing the games on the highlights. You should do a highlight show of games we watched along. Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I'm going to do, or I need to do, to be honest, more videos pre and post game. So I might be doing that as we go forward. But it's just, as you can tell, it's so busy lately. I've done 8 watch-alongs over this weekend. 8 watch-alongs, and each one was like 3 hours. So effectively, we've done 24 hours of me on camera over the last 48 hours. Which is a lot of, it's pretty intense. It's a lot of work. Especially when you consider I've got to sleep in that as well. So, it's a lot of graft. Rosie Lee Laws, how are you, bud? I'm good, Rosie. How are you doing? I'm good. Very, very good. Enjoying this game. Hoping Palace get the win. Because it'll set them up nicely for that FA Cup final against City. And I think Forest are almost certainly falling out of these Champions League places now. It's been a really dull end. No, not a dull, but a poor end to the season for them. To have lost against Brentford and now to lose away to Palace. It's not the end. Whoa, that's a yellow. Ooh, Daniel Munoz is very, very lucky there. He's very, very lucky there. That was so, so close to being in the penalty area. But it was a foul just on the edge. And he absolutely wiped Nico Williams out. Let's just see there. Does he catch him? It might even be a red, if he catches him high. No, he's alright. It's a bad tackle, though, that. Bad tackle. Eesh. Can't believe Trent's leaving. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure some Liverpool fans have felt that way. That it's surprising, but I think most, certainly me, I think most Liverpool fans have been expecting this day for a long time now, for at least a year. It's been pretty certain that he was going to move on. So, it's just sad. It's just one of them things. Scouse House need Nico to get booked. A good save there from Henderson again. He's done really well today. Elanga with the free kick, whipped it in. And it was a good tip over the bar from Henderson. AC Milan have equalised away to Genoa. AC Milan are having a terrible season. A really poor season at the top of Serie A. Lacroix, shot. It's 1-1. Oh, it's a big deflection. It's Murillo. It's a massive deflection, but it's 1-1. Forest have got the tails up. Murillo with a big deflection. It was only 5 minutes. It's only been 5 minutes. Palace score. Forest score. Hey, and we had both teams to score. Get in. Get in. That's my bet up, that. That's my bet up. I'm flying. Get in. Let's just see what happens here. Callum, what's the score? It's Palace 1, Forest 1. Toraya, enjoyed the banter, Prem Dad. Hope you have a good rest of your night, mate. See you soon. Take it easy, mate. Yeah, come back and join. Listen, absolutely love the banter. Even you're a United fan, we've got plenty of United fans on here. No problem at all with United fans. So, yeah, make sure you come back, mate. Good to have you. And, we'll be live on Thursday, even if it's not for United. So, I'll see you then, maybe. Ilyasi Youssef, you speak Spanish. Un peu lito. Foster, Milan have just netted. Yeah, 1-1. James, LUFC, parade, absolutely class. Oh, has there been the parade today for Leeds? I didn't know. What do you think, by the way, James, what do you think about Danny Farker? Lots of rumours about him potentially leaving the club already after winning the league. Feels like a big thing that he was just kind of sat glum on the bench, wasn't he? He was just like, as soon as Leeds won it, Man of Solomon, last minute winner, you would have thought he'd have been up and bouncing. And he looked a little bit glum. Lots of rumours flying around. What do you think? You're closer to it than I am, obviously, as a Leeds fan. What do you think? Freddie, do you think Chelsea get Champions League now? Yes, I do, Freddie. Yeah, I think Chelsea are going to get it. Murillo to Atletico, here we go. AC Milan have scored 2-1. AC Milan, Genoa have gone from a goal up to a goal down. Here's Palace getting into the area. It was Frendrup who scored. Morten Frendrup for AC Milan. He's been a good signing. Chris Richards wins it back. Last 25 minutes here. Last 25. Do we think Forest can win it? It's going to take a lot for Forest to turn this round. Jay Machia, you just talk about Manchester? Mostly Manchester, yeah. Mostly Manchester. Whatever the chat asks me about, mate, that's what I talk about. If it's Manchester United, that's what we talk about. If it's Liverpool, then we talk about... Obviously, we talked about Trent most of this live, to be honest. So yeah, we talk about everything on this channel. We've got fans from all clubs in this channel. As you can see, we've got Leeds fans in the chat. We're talking about Danny Farker right now. We talk about everything on this channel. If that's your thing, then by all means, stick around. Give us a like, give us a follow. If it's not your thing and that annoys you, then, you know, breeze on by. That's cool too. There's plenty of other football channels that are a bit more suited to you. But no offence either way. All love. It's all good. James LUFC, I think he should stay. If he doesn't do well first few games, leave. He didn't get the money. Okay, fair enough. Each, who should Trent's replacement be? Bradley or someone else? I think Bradley will get a lot more games next season, but I am hoping that we sign someone a little bit more experienced. So maybe not like a Frimpong, for example, or a top right back. I don't want us to go out and pay 40, 50 million for a top right back. I would much rather we went out and say got... Like Olaina, for example. Olaina is 20, 27, 28, whatever he is. I think he's 28, actually, isn't he? Can play right back, can play left back, experienced in the Prem. He's had a very good season for Forest. And he's available on a free. Because he's out of contract this summer. So he would be perfect for me. I think Olaina at right back with Conor Bradley next season. I'd be fine with that. Foster, Milan again. I know, mate. Yeah, really good, isn't it? Good game, that. Must be a good game. Mr. Escobar LCF. I don't know what LCF is. Reece Crownshaw, views on Salah going to Arsenal. Love it. Absolutely love it. He's garbage. James LUFC, from what I've seen, I think Connor is injury prone. He's a top player though. Connor Bradley's only really had, it feels like he's had like one bad injury and a couple of little hiccups on his recovery, but I wouldn't say he's injury prone. I think he's been very, very good. You've got to remember as well, he's a young lad, and at however old he is, 21, he's still growing into your body until you're sort of mid-20s, 24, 25. So sometimes you do get injuries early in your career, and you grow out of him. Steven Gerrard was considered to be injury prone in his early years at Liverpool, believe it or not. Steven Gerrard was definitely considered to be injury prone. He got a lot of muscle injuries, a lot of thigh injuries, had him out for a few weeks, and that tag was thrown about with him as well, and didn't seem to affect him later in his career, did it? Caleb, Trent can't love Liverpool that much if he's leaving on a free. Yeah, that certainly adds to the weight of, you know, all the snakiness. Lots of Liverpool fans seem to think he's betraying the club by leaving on a free. I'd have to say I agree. I don't think it's a good look. The optics aren't great. Long throw into the box from Richards. Palace flick on. Here's Will Hughes. Back out to Richards. Ball into the box. All the way over to the far side and picks it up. Scouse House, do you really want me to remind you all who the best is? Josto Carvajal wouldn't be that bad, I suppose, but he's also been out for a very long time. NCL ISY, he can't be a snake. Why can't he be a snake? Barnacle Sports, Forest winning yet? No, it's Palace 1, Forest 1, and it's Ebre Eze about to take the corner. Whipped in. Comes out to the edge of the area. Munoz. Oh, wonderful from Kamada. It's another corner there. Another corner for Palace. Kamada's playing much, much better recently. Much, much better. Right, Palace about to whip this corner kick in now. Will Hughes with the left peg, whips it in. Cleared away. Back out to Will Hughes. Cleared away by Murillo. Really good defending there at the back. Really, really smart defending at the back by Palace and by Forest, to be honest. 1-1 feels like a fair result thus far, I've got to say. Feels like a fair result. Ches, what score? Yeah, 1-1. NTL ISY, been there since he was 5. He needs to move on. Why does he need to move on? I don't think he needs... Why does Trent need to move on? Xavi and Iniesta didn't need to move on, did they? Why does he need to move on? Sub-stub, well, at least your bet goes in. Yeah, that's it, mate. At least we've got a bet, a winning bet tonight anyway on that one. So, it's all good. Caleb, I think Inter win tomorrow. Well, we'll see. Again, we'll see. We'll be live for that. We shall see. It'll be an interesting one to see what the lineups are going to be. Again, Barcelona made a lot of changes. Inter made a lot of changes in the weekend games against Hellas Verona and Valladolid, respectively. Both of those games ended up being wins for Inter and Barca, but they both kind of went down in slightly different ways. Inter Milan didn't have to bring on Barella or Sommer or Acerbi or Bastoni or, you know, any of the Marcus Thuram, Lautaro Martinez. All of them didn't play a part at all, whereas Barca did have to bring on Yamal and Rafinha and Pedri and all the others. You know, they had to change things around. Frankie de Jong as well, Dani Olmo. A lot of the players seemed to have to come on and obviously try and get them the 3 points, which they did in the end. Shot from distance, well blocked, and Ismail Assar drives forward. That's a foul, must be a yellow card as well. Nico Williams is going to get booked, and there you go. Someone else has been shouting out for a Nico Williams yellow card in the chat. You've got it. You've got it. Nico Williams foul and a yellow card. There you go. NTL, 20-odd years, he's won loads of trophies, including the Prem, try out somewhere else. Mate, it's more about him leaving on a free. Leaving on a free when the team's at its absolute best. Again, you wouldn't expect Iniesta or Xavi to leave Barcelona. You wouldn't expect, Scholes or Giggs to leave Manchester United at their absolute best, especially not on a free as well. So, to me, I think it is a bit snaky, and I think the fans are going to be absolutely justified in booing him, because I think that's what's going to happen. He's lost his legacy. He's tainted his legacy at the club, and I think he's made a mistake as well, because I think of all the teams that he could have gone to, Real Madrid are probably not the team best placed for success. So I'm sure he will win things at Madrid, but I just don't think they're all that geared up for success. They need a lot of work, Madrid. That's a foul again. Sangare. Must be a yellow card, that. No skill Aaron. Barca will suffer in the full-back area. Caleb, PSG win against Inter in the final. I think it's PSG Barca, and the winner gets the treble. That's the final we all want to see, isn't it? Rafinha, Yamal, Dembele, Kvaratskhelia, Pedri, Gavi, Olmo, De Jong, whoever it might be, against Vitinha, Neves, and Fabian Ruiz. There's so much to like about PSG Barca in that final. That's a proper final, that to me makes the most sense. I'd love to see that. And the winner gets the treble. The winner goes down as one of the best teams for a very, very long time. In their club's history, not many teams win a treble. So, yeah, you'd have to say that would be a generational win, let's say, if they got a treble. And it'd also be kind of fitting, wouldn't it, if PSG sold Mbappe and won the treble the year he leaves. Can Spurs beat Bodo Glimt now with Maddison and Bernal injured? Bernal? Who's Bernal? Bernal? Who's Bernal? Yes, they can. They can beat Bodo Glimt. I don't necessarily think they will beat Bodo Glimt tomorrow. It'll probably be a draw. Maybe 1-1. Maybe even 2-1 Bodo Glimt, but they'll still go through Spurs. It might be narrow, but they'll get there. They'll get there. And it might even be the same with United, to be honest. It wouldn't surprise me at all if tomorrow we see United start quite poorly and maybe Bilbao nick a goal. And that's what will have me panicking, because I am going to watch on Thursday night, rather. That is what I'm going to watch tomorrow, on Thursday. I'm going to watch Sheffield United at Ashton Gate against Bristol City in the playoffs. I'm going to watch that over United. They both kick off at the same time, 8 p.m. on Thursday. So we're going to do the Championship game on Thursday. And if someone tells me in the chat that United are winning, Bilbao are winning 1-0 or 2-0, oh, I'll be so gutted. I'll be so desperate to turn it over. Substub, this is better than TalkSport and 5 Live. I'm glad I found you. Oh, cheers, man. Thanks for that, Substub. You're a sweetheart. Appreciate that. You're an absolute gent. Thanks for saying that. Adam Mack, well, I've just been called a melt. Listen, Adam, we've all got called worse, mate. Don't worry about it. You get called a lot worse than a melt. And again, they're only words. They don't know who you are. Someone calls you a melt because you've got a football opinion. So what? So what? Get a life. And that's them, not you, by the way. I'm sure you're sound. But if someone's calling you a melt because I can't believe you don't think that Neymar's the best player of all time, you melt. No skill, Aaron. You think he plays this season again? No, I don't. No, I don't. I think he gets a strain in training, and I think he probably doesn't play again because I think the club will protect him. Because he will get booed. He'll absolutely get booed, I'm telling you. CCFC Miles, thoughts on Coventry in the playoffs? Well, we're going to do both Coventry-Sunderland games. We're going to be live for both of them, mate. So, yeah, looking forward to the first leg this Friday. We'll be live for that. And we'll have a look again next week and see how we get on. But I think Coventry could get something out of Sunderland. I'm not sure if they go through, but I think at home on Friday, I think they might get a win, maybe a draw, and then take it back to the Stadium of Light. So, yeah, interesting. Really looking forward to seeing how that one plays out. Who's going to win the League One playoff finals? I like the look of Charlton. I like the look of Charlton in that. Wickham could too. But yeah, I'll be doing that one as well. We're doing Charlton against Wickham. And we're doing Leyton Orient as well. So I'm going to do the Leyton Orient game. We're doing AFC Wimbledon against Notts County. There's quite a few playoff games that I'm doing. So again, if that's your thing and you like all sorts of football, give us a like, give us a follow. We're going to be doing all the playoff games between now and the end of the season, as well as all the Prem games and some big La Liga games as well. Betis v Osasuna is one. We're going to do Atletico Madrid against Real Sociedad as well. What else? I might do not an Inter game. There's another Serie A game that I was going to do. Maybe Bologna AC Milan. I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll have a look. But we've done quite a few Serie A games this season. AKT Gas, Nottingham going to win. Well, Murillo's limping off here. That doesn't look good. You don't want Murillo going out for the season now. Last few games. Be very important to keep him fit. It's Murillo off and Morato on for Forest. Joe Stowe, you're doing a watch-along for Partick Thistle versus United tomorrow? I'm not, mate, no. I'm not. Snowskill Aaron, I saw so many people on Twitter calling for Trent's memorial to be destroyed. A memorial? His mural, you mean? Chance for Palace? Must be. Oh, is that Eddie Nketiah? He's shite him, isn't he? He's absolutely crap him. Get him sold. I know he doesn't play. Honestly, he's going to go back to Arsenal, isn't he? I'm amazed that, Reece, you said that, didn't you? He's still at Arsenal. I thought Palace had signed him permanently. He's absolutely dog meat. Look at that. Dreadful. Didn't get his head up. A proper cart horse. Same as Darwin Núñez. That just got through clear on goal and just leathered it. Absolutely leathered it. Mark, in FPL, I always come bottom half, but somehow for the last 2 seasons, I make the final in the Cup. Hoping in to win the Champions League so Salah gets the appreciation he deserves. I think even if PSG win it, Salah probably could get the Ballon d'Or. You've got to think of it like a marketing ploy that it is. That's all it is. And I think if Barca win it, then Lamine Yamal has it in the bag. They're giving him all of the plaudits. He's certain to win it. If PSG, Inter, or even Arsenal win it, then yeah, Salah's Salah's the standout candidate, and I'm sure they'd like to give it to an African again. It's been a long time since we've seen an African win the Ballon d'Or, and again, from a journalistic point of view, that's something they can sell, isn't it? From a marketing point of view, it's that's global appeal, and that's what they look for. But I'm sure in an ideal world they'd probably have Lamine Yamal win it. They just need an excuse to give it to him. Mark, Ballon d'Or is too political now, but I was glad Rodri got it over Vinny last year. Yeah. I think, again, Rodri, I think, deserved it. This is the thing. It was almost an act of defiance, wasn't it, to give it to Rodri last year, even though everyone knew that he was the best player in the world in the year before. I thought Rodri was fantastic. He was unbelievable, fully deserved to win the Ballon d'Or. And the fact that it went to him and not Vinny, even though Vinny is the more marketable of the two, that's why there was such outrage in Madrid and such we're gonna abandon and we're not even gonna participate in the awards next year and all this, throwing the toys out the pram. Oh, honestly. No skill Aaron, Slippy G not winning the Prem taints his legacy a lot more than you think. No, it doesn't, because everyone still says when they do the team of the season or team of the decade or best Premier League team of all time, Gerrard's in every single one, whoever you support. That's how good it does. That's how good he was. Didn't win a Premier League, and he's in everyone's 11. Everyone's. And you ask any player who was the hardest player they played against, it's always Steven Gerrard. Always. Teddy Sheringham played for Man United, at maybe their best team, and said the hardest player he'd ever played against was Gerrard. Paul Scholes said he couldn't have done what Steven Gerrard did, and he was better. Gerrard could have done what he did for United. He couldn't have done what Gerrard did for Liverpool. Paul Scholes knows he's better. And again, it's a team game. It's a team game. And Gerrard, honestly, they should have made special trophies for Gerrard for the FA Cup and the Champions League, because he didn't win that as part of a Liverpool team. The FA Cup and the Champions League was won. They shouldn't say Liverpool on those years. It genuinely shouldn't. It should say Steven Gerrard. He dragged us to those trophies. Absolutely dragged us to them. Mark, Van Dijk deserved it that one year in 2019. Somehow Messi got it, even though they won La Liga. Scouse House, they don't you beat Van Dijk and win trophies. Trying to catch up with what everyone's saying here. Napoli, best team in the world. Yeah, I don't know about best team in the world. Certainly best team in Serie A this season. Scott McTominay, McSauce, flying in Napoli. But again, it's kind of evident of where Napoli are right now, that McTominay and Lukaku are your star players in that team. Scouse House under 3.5 done me, cards flying everywhere. Geordie Rob, hi bro, remember me? Of course I do, Rob, yeah. Good to see you. Oh, it's a foul to Palace here in the last 5 minutes of the game. 5 minutes plus added time. Morato. It wasn't Morato, it was Milenkovic, sorry. Milenkovic with the foul on Nketiah. Will Hughes is going to whip this in. Geordie Rob, hi Prem Dad, can you please give me a team to do a realistic RTG on EAFC career mode? When you say RTG, what's RTG mean? Sorry, I'm new to this. I'm new to the whole EAFC thing. Maybe that's an acronym I've never heard before. I've not encountered RTG. Mark, you think we were tipsy against Chelsea? Chance here for Palace again. Unlucky, cleared away. Good block at the back. Do I think we were tipsy? I mean, Arne Slot certainly looked a little bit tipsy, but no, I don't think we were tipsy. I just think we rested that many players. It was always going to be a bit of a disjointed performance. If you take out our full midfield, we had no legs in that midfield. You could see that from the off. There was no Gravenberch in there, no Soberslai, no McAllister. You put those three in there, we probably beat Chelsea, just with those three. There was no Luis Diaz, so we had no legs on the left-hand side. Jota has been garbage for about 4 months. He's had 1 or 2 decent performances in that, but he's been crap most of the season. And then at the back, we had Kwanzaa, no Kanate. We had Simicast, no Robertson. So it's there's a lot of changes in there. There's 5 or 6 players, basically a full rested half a team, let's say. And a lot of those players hadn't even played together for a long time. Endo got his first start of the season. We're in May. And we've got the title sewn up. He's just got his first start. Oh, road to glory. So you take a bad team to the very top and try to get them to win the Champions League. Right, okay. A road to glory. I think, do you know what I think you should do a good one with, or if you was going to do one? I always quite enjoy stuff where you take over like a team in a really, really bad way, like Luton, for example. You know, Luton have just gone down. I know they wouldn't have on FIFA, but they would have done actually, wouldn't they, in terms of the Premier League? I know they've just gone down again in real life. So I would maybe do Luton and see whether you can recover them from back-to-back relegations. Plus, you'll have the proper stadium as well, won't you? Kenilworth Road's on there. So, proper stadium. Luton. I would do Luton Town. Try and get Luton back to the Prem. 2.5 minutes or so here to go. Garrett Cody from a City fan. Can you tell Arna to play the best squad against Liverpool? Oh, against Arsenal, sorry. I think we will do. Yeah, I think we will. The only change I can see is I don't think... There's a part of me that thinks Trent Alexander-Arnold doesn't play again for Liverpool this season. Go on, Palace, get forward here. Here's Eze. Shot. Off the bar. Oh my God, he is such a player. He is such a player. Oh, he cuts in on his right foot and he just, from about 30 yards out, it doesn't even look like he catches it proper. It kind of glides. It doesn't... He's not laced it. It's with the outside, sorry, the inside of his foot. And he's just caught it nice. And it's off the top of the crossbar and behind. Wow. Keeper gets nowhere near it as well. What a winner that would have been. He's going to leave Palace this summer, isn't he? And you know what? There's a lot of teams would take a gamble on Eberechi Eze. I'd take him at Liverpool. Fabulous player. Cheers, mate. Appreciate it and rub it in. I see Luton back-to-back relegations, rubbing it in. No, not at all. Like I said, I know they were quite unlucky to go down this season. Last season they weren't. They were always likely to go down from the Prem. But to get back-to-back relegations is tough to recover from. So if you want to give yourself a challenge, mate, I don't know if you can move them around on the AFC, can you? Can you drop them down to League One? Drop them down to League One and start again. Or maybe try and get Portsmouth up. Obviously, Portsmouth have come from League One again. They're on a bit of a recovery. So you could maybe get Portsmouth. They've got Fratton Park, the real stadium, in the game. So, yeah, maybe try and get Portsmouth back up to the big time, back into the Prem. I like Portsmouth. Lots to like about Portsmouth. Geordie Rob, Plymouth too. Yeah, Plymouth, yeah. I mean, Plymouth's maybe a little bit... Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. Yeah, Plymouth. The only difference is you haven't got home park for Plymouth. Right, so 90 minutes is up. The fourth official's about to come out now with the board for how many minutes we can expect, and it's 8. 8 added minutes. Goodness me. Right, well, 8 minutes. Can we get it? Can we get it? There's got to be a goal left in this game. Surely. We've had penalties, we've had players hitting the bar, we've had all sorts going on. Nico the Belgian King, where do you think Ben Doak? Do you mean Ben Doak? I assume you mean Ben Doak. Ben Doak, I think, is probably a good shout to go to a lower Premier League side, maybe like a Burnley. I think Burnley would be one to watch for Ben Doak. Eze, chance, must be. It's in! Oh, I think he's offside. Nketiah's offside. Oh, of course he is. Born offside, that lad. He's born offside. Oh, you divvy. What a shot by Eze as well. I think that was even going in. And Nketiah gets a touch, knocks it in. Is he offside? Is he offside? Let's see. Oh, you're about 4 mile offside. What are you doing? rat. And he turns round and has the cheek to look at the linesman and go, "Oh, was it? I mean, mate, you were stood about 4 mile offside." And you know what? He's absolutely brain dead, because all you got to do is look along the line there. He had loads of time. It's not like he was like standing up or anything. He just had to look along the line. There was loads of time for him to do it. Got to get yourself onside there. It's unforgivable, that. Absolutely unforgivable. Jamal Kupakwash Masanzu, Trent Stephen Liverpool. Couldn't agree more, mate. Yeah. Could not agree more. Right, so, is this a... Oh, there's an issue there with the refs. Or is it the lino? I think the lino's got a problem with his old battery pack here. Geordie Rob, Palace could do us a massive favour here. If they beat Forest, then the Champions League will be ours to lose. I think the way Newcastle are playing, mate, I really think Chelsea are gonna beat you this weekend. Yeah, I fancy Chelsea to win at St James's Park. 64th minute, Murillo with the equaliser. We've still got like maybe 6.5 minutes here. The clock is still ticking, but the officials still not quite fixed his battery pack. There's a lot still going on here. Players are just trying to stay warmed up to make sure that they they get what they need to. They can stay fit for the last few minutes. Geordie Rob, will you be doing that game? Yes, I will, yeah. I'm doing Chelsea-Newcastle. I'm going to upload my full schedule to YouTube. So if you want to go and check out what games I'm live for and when, make sure you get to YouTube, go and subscribe, hit the notification bells for the games that matter to you. But I'm live for a lot of games between now and the end of the season. There's a lot of them. So I've only put my next maybe 2 weeks on, or at least I've not uploaded it yet, but I'm about to upload it as soon as this game finishes. So you'll have the full 2 week schedule. Get to YouTube, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. I'm sure I'll catch you on a stream up in the next couple of weeks. Villa still in it, Burley, but we could do it, hopefully. Yeah, Villa, you need to win. You need to win, Villa. You're going to have to start picking up some points and basically win out. I think you're going to have to win at Old Trafford. You're going to have to win against Spurs, and you're going to have to beat Bournemouth next up, don't you? You've got Bournemouth 5:30 on Saturday. I'm doing that one. Bournemouth 5:30. I'm not sure you win at the Vitality. If you do, then your last 2 games of the season are obviously potentially against the Europa League finalists. So you would imagine Villa will feel confident about winning those 2, as they haven't got anything to play for. But you need to get the win against Bournemouth. Anything other than a win, I think, against Bournemouth, and the Champions League dream's over. Left yourself with a bit too much to do. Munoz, chance! Oh, it's gone for a corner. Has it? Yeah, corner to Palace here. Geordie Rob, finish this champ, mate. Toon. Don't know what Toon. I don't know. I've not heard that one before. SA, why VAR? There is no VAR. Not right now, at least. Curtis Moore, 083, lose. Lose what? Geordie Rob, Black and White Army. Okay, I didn't know that one. Right, well, it's a corner here to Palace. We've got 95 minutes on the clock. There's 8 minutes of added time, but actually we'll probably end up playing more like 100. Keeper comes out and pushes it away. Here's... Oh my God, Will Hughes, what a shot. From out wide, just over the top of the net, but he was very, very close to getting that on target. Good ball in by Will Hughes. Unlucky. E-I-E-I-O. I see. Okay. I know the tune now. Yahir Escobar. Time. It's 95:52. If you want to see the clock, if you go to YouTube and you search Premier League Dad, there's a scoreboard with a clock on it. Slightly different camera angle, slightly different microphone setup. It's a bit more professional looking. But if you want to go to YouTube and have a look, you can see the clock on there. We're currently on 96:10 of 8 minutes added on time. However, like I said, the referee was fiddling about with his battery pack for about 2.5 minutes or so. So we're probably going to go over 100 minutes. And there's a player down injured now as well. So I would imagine it might even go to 102. There's going to be a lot of added time here. Right, so Nuno Santo's looking quite nervous. Might be another player down here. Another player down and injured. Nico Williams just having a little refreshment. It's Milenkovic who's down. We've seen Murillo hobble off. We've seen Milenkovic now down. He's getting some treatment. Can you imagine if Forest have no Milenkovic and no Murillo for the last few games of the season? It might well be that, you know. Murillo hobbled off. Milenkovic is currently down. I don't know if it's a strategic thing, but he's... let's just see what happens. I think he gets clobbered by his own goalkeeper there, you know. Yeah, I think he gets clobbered by his own goalkeeper. He should be fine, you know. Maybe Jefferson Lerma. It feels like they got sandwiched in between them. Geordie Bob, mate, what I love about you, you're not scared to speak your opinion on the game, no matter circumstances. Keep it up, mate. I'll be here for every stream I can. Dad. You don't need to call me Dad. As nice as it is. Yeah, you don't have to call me Dad. I am a dad. I've got a little girl. That's why the channel's called that. But no, you can call me... My name's Key. Most people call me Key. K-E-E. Yeah, you can call me that. Scousel, nose is popped, blood all over the place. Is there? I hadn't seen. Oh, yeah, he has. He's got cotton wool up his nose, hasn't he? He's going to have to leave the pitch, isn't he? Yeah, he's had treatment. Geordie Rob, mate, do you like snooker? I don't mind snooker. I quite like playing snooker. I don't really watch a lot of snooker anymore. I used to watch it back in the day, maybe a touch more than I did. Quite partial to the Moscone Cup. But I like playing snooker and pool. I've got my own little pool queue and everything going on. Snooker queue. My brother used to take me playing pool and snooker when I was a kid quite a lot, so... Yeah, I'm not bad at pool and snooker. Can hustle a few people on holiday. But yeah, I don't really watch too much of it. Oggy69, who do you support? I'm a Liverpool fan, Oggy. Liverpool fan, but as you can probably tell, we watch everyone on this channel. It's not a fan channel where you just watch one team and it's like an echo chamber. We watch everyone on here. We're watching the Championship playoffs, League 1 playoffs, League 2 playoffs, La Liga, Champions League, Europa League, Conference League, everyone. We watch everyone. And I like to think we can give an opinion on everything. We have fans in the chat from all over the world who watch us, and we have a really good community of proper football fans, what I would consider to be proper, knowledgeable football fans who don't just watch their own team, they watch everyone, and they educate themselves on players and different styles of play, different managers, how the team's set up. It's like a game of chess, isn't it, football? That's what I find interesting. It's two teams, you never know what's going to happen, it's so unpredictable, and that's what we love about football, isn't it? So, if that's your thing, give us a like, give us a follow. Scousel, Inter or Barca tomorrow's first leg was class. I'm hoping the second leg is just as good as the first. But I think Barca will just nick it. I think it goes to extra time and penalties. I'm certainly planning for it to go the distance. I'm gonna be here live watching it. Might get some snacks in. Might get some rainbow drops in. I'm gonna need something because I'm not gonna have tea. So, yeah, I'm planning for a late session. Geordie Rob, Mark Williams lost the final to the first ever Chinese world champion tonight. Zhao. Okay. I didn't know he was the first ever Chinese. Didn't Ding win it? Ding Junhui. Did he never win it? He was a decent player, wasn't he, Ding? Curtis Moore 083, iPhone. Oh, listen, it's an old iPhone. Listen, I'm filming on a newer iPhone, but I've got an old iPhone. This is an old work one. I got this one for free. I only use this so I can moderate the chat. And it doesn't need to be fast, like I say. It's not. The screen's cracked on it as well, so I'm not showing off, Chief. And by the way, I'm working class like the rest of us. I'm nothing posh. I'm from St Helens. There's no airs and graces here. I'm no better than anyone else. Geordie Rob, love your accent. Cheers, man. Curtis Moore 083, Liverpool iPhone 8. I don't know what that means. Hammers. What's up with Hammers? I don't mind West Ham. Scousel, at least another 6-7 minutes added on there, you reckon, refs thing, and the nosebleed, 5-6 minutes, maybe. Yeah, I mean, Forest are pushing forward here. Henderson's won it. We're on 101 minutes, 30 seconds now. Can't be long left. I would imagine we're getting into the final minute now. I would say we're probably looking at 102. This might be the chance here if they pump it up. Can you say chicken and a can of Coke? Curtis Moore 083, iPhone 16, iPhone 17. I don't know what that means, Curtis. What are you getting at, Chief? Are you taking the mic because I've not got a new iPhone? Is that what you're about, Curtis? Look at me and look what I've got. It's 1-1. It's finished. It's 1-1. Reese, he's got a bloody nose. Sub-stub. How come the setup is better here than TikTok? Because we've got a sponsor. We've got a sponsor on YouTube. The channel is sponsored. All of our lives are sponsored by a really, really great company, by the way. A really, really good company. And they do something that I really enjoy. And I think most of our viewers really enjoy. But I can't promote them on TikTok. Therefore, I have a different setup for TikTok and a different setup for YouTube, X, Twitch, Instagram, Facebook. They get the more professional setup with the professional mic and the scoreboard and the clock and all that sort of thing. So you guys get the better thing. TikTok, I integrate with TikTok and I watch TikTok and the chat comes through TikTok. TikTok's cool too, so I like TikTok as well. But hey, yeah, whatever. Curtis, I think that's enough out of you, Chief. He'll mute you. You're talking out your backside, sunshine. But look, it's finished 1-1 here. Crystal Palace 1, Nottingham Forest 1. I thought it would be, we said, didn't we, before the game, most people in the chat seem to think the same. It would be either a Palace win or a draw. Certainly both teams to score, and that's exactly how it's played out, 1-1. I think Forest will be disappointed. Again, it's a game you would have expected them to win, a game that you would have hoped that they would get something if they're really pushing for the Champions League places. Being in 6th, they're now 2 points off Chelsea with a much worse goal difference. 2 points off Newcastle with a much worse goal difference. 3 points off City with a much worse goal difference. Villa is on the tail. Villa are only a point behind them. Not that that matters really. I think Villa and Forest are now just falling away. And if they're not careful, Forest, it's going to go into that last game of the season at the City ground against Chelsea. They might need to win that to get in the Champions League. It'll be a really disappointing season, or at least it'll be an amazing season for Forest. If you'd have said to any Forest fan at the start of the season, you're going to get to the semi-final of the FA Cup at Wembley and you're going to be in Europe next year, every Forest fan would have snatched your hand off. However, if you'd have said to every Forest fan, I think 6 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago, when they were 3rd in the league, you're gonna finish in the Europa League places, every single one of them would have been absolutely gutted. So it's difficult to accept. It's going to be a difficult one to accept for a lot of Forest fans, I'm sure. But yeah, I don't think there's a lot more they can say or do about that one. Let me know what you're thinking about the end of the season. Which 5 teams are you getting to make it? For me, I think it's the 5 that are there now. It's City, it's Newcastle, and it's Chelsea. I can't see any of them falling away. I really can't. I'd be very, very surprised if Villa or Forest make it. Jake, yes, I won my league and I get to pick forfeits for my mates. Nice. What forfeits are you thinking, Jake? Callum, what do you think the score will be in the Barca game tomorrow? 2-2. 2-2. I'm going to go 2-2. Goals to extra time. Probably to penalties. Barca to nick it on pens. That's what I think. I think we go to penalties and certainly to extra time. I'd be very surprised if it doesn't go through to extra time with Inter and Barca. And I think PSG and Arsenal on Wednesday night is going to be maybe 1-1, maybe 0-0, maybe 1-1. A very close game, and I don't think there's many goals in it. But again, I don't think it goes to extra time. I can't see any outcome where Arsenal win in the Parc des Princes. I can't see it. 44 Champagne Pappy, did it finish? Yes, it finished. It finished Palace 1, Forest 1, and that's the game for tonight. It does mean that Forest stay in 6th. They are, as I said, 2-3 points off where they need to be in the Champions League places, so it's not looking particularly good for them. Geordie Rob, can you stay a bit longer, mate? Yeah, I can stay a little bit longer. Not too much, although, to be honest, literally 5-10 minutes max. I'm going to be wrapping up and we're going to be going to... I'm getting ready for tomorrow's stream, basically. I'm going to add all my schedule onto YouTube. All the games that I'm going to be doing live over the next 2 weeks. So make sure you go to YouTube, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Substub night, I'm going to bed. Good seeing you again. See you Friday, pal. Play up Sky Blues. Yeah, take it easy, Substub. Good to see you, man. We'll certainly be live for Coventry and Sunderland on Friday night. Looking forward to that one. But we're live tomorrow. We're certainly live tomorrow. Geordie Rob, do you ever do MLS matches, mate? No, I haven't done any MLS matches. Again, it's mainly because of how late they are. I think the time difference just kills us with the MLS games. I would quite like to do some Inter Miami ones, but yeah, no, I'm not really going to be getting the chance to do them just because of the time difference. But we'll be doing the Club World Cup. Substub. I'll be here Thursday if you do the Championship playoffs. Yes, I will be here Thursday. I'm gonna do Bristol City and Sheffield United on Thursday night. We're gonna do that over the United Bilbao game. So I can't be bothered with United Bilbao. It's done and dusted. So we're not gonna do that one. But again, listen, thank you everyone who's been in the chat, who's been on the live and all that sort of thing. Thank you so much for all the comments, all the likes, all the gifts. Thank you for subscribing as well. Make sure you go to YouTube and subscribe. Make sure you subscribe and follow on TikTok as well. And I will see you all. I'll see you all tomorrow night. I'll be back tomorrow night for Inter Milan against Barcelona. We'll be live from 7 p.m. So make sure you like and follow. Make sure you go and hit the notification bell. And I will see you all tomorrow night. Take it easy, Rob. Have a good one.